The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Crime News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Crime News Talk. Today is July 14th, 2025. You are listening to, or we are live to tape on episode 858. And today, DOD Hails Grok. And signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy Basil, and you are not crazy.
And my name is Gonz, director of the Age of Deceit films at Face Like the Sun, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, live to tape from the metaverse to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And we have made it, Basil. We have made 2 episodes in a row together. This is an accomplishment for 858th episode of
Incredible. Put it on the calendar, folks. We finally got back to business. And it is so hot in the studio. I
was going to say, you're coming in real hot on the mic,
I was
too.
going to say, actually, I just heard that crackle. So, man, I'm going to check my gain here in a second. Once
you're peeking out for sure. It's really slamming.
I prepared for list. Oh, wow, I really am. Hold on.
He's a mess, folks. Look at this. None of us are ready for this.
How's that? Is that better? That might be
almost too
low.
quiet. Yeah, it's a little too low. Bring it back. Bring it back.
There we go. How's this?
It's a little better.
Louder.
I don't know. We need.
Okay,
This is good. Live mix.
Yeah, I don't know how it got so cranked. How's that? Is that good?
That's fine. It's okay.
It seems more normal. Okay.
We'll find out.
It's so hot. It's so hot, Gonz. It's so hot that I put the fabled ice vest into the freezer, anticipating whether, if I need to. I'm thinking if the office hits maybe 86 degrees, I'll go get the thing.
86. All right. I guess that's uncomfortable. You're right.
It's uncomfortable, especially with the thing.
You little rascal. I am so hot.
You're so hot.
I'm Gons. I am so hot.
It's so hot, folks. It's so hot. When I first moved off the grid that first year, the show has always been a bit insane, but not only did I have the VR headset on, but I had a big freezer like ice pack vest that I would wear, and then I would stuff my hat with ice packs as well, and they would melt and become like hot packs about halfway through the show, so I would have to disappear from the show to go get replacement ice packs just to do the show. I don't remember what the temperature in the office was those times, but easily 90 degrees or more. How's the garage doing over there?
The garage is getting warm. Definitely
getting warm
over here. Yeah,
warmer and warmer.
The sun faces the garage too during the evenings, so it gets even warmer.
Yeah.
People are asking for the text message though. Did the text message go out?
Text message went out. I don't know how far back in chat you're doing, but text message got out.
Yeah,
there were some people who jumped in on time, which is their fault because we almost never start on time. But thanks for being here. Everybody, we had a huge group of people join the text message alert system, and I am assuming that they are the prudent Face Like the Sun channel listeners or viewers here who said, oh my gosh, Canary Cry did disappear for 5 years, starting in July of 4 years, 2021. And I thought they went away. I never saw them again because then I was relying on the timeline, relying on the platforms to bring me the most important news of the day and not, get on the email list, get on the text message list. So big ol' shout out to all the Face Like the Sun people who joined the Canary Cry text message alert system. And if you're not on it, you should get on it now. Very easy. Just text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. I'll say it again. That's Canary to 877-740-3226. And you'll just get a little alert before every show goes live throughout the week. Don't worry, we're not trying to sell you nothing. And it's totally anonymized. We don't have anybody's names or anything in there. You don't give any information. So this will just make sure that you never miss a show unless you want to, which is the way it should be. If you want to miss a show, you should want to do it. And this will also be a great sort of emergency communication place if we get banned again, which is, I guess it's when we get banned again, et cetera, et cetera. And the fun part is, the part that a lot of people have a lot of fun with, is you can actually text us back at that number. We see them all. I read them all. Sometimes we read them on the show. I cannot text you back through this system because it's very expensive. But I see your text. Thank you very much. And just to prove it, I will say 214, keep an ear out for your area codes, folks, because people are finding each other, Canarians in their area. 214 text and says, yes, straight to the news is great. Okay, look at us getting straight to the news after these promotions
at the
for the
beginning,
text
yes.
message list.
Yeah.
250, this is Kat, says, blessings, gentlemen. I'm praying for you both now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir Tristan says, my dudes, I love texting Basil and Cons. Thank you very much. These all came in before the show started too. So he just was very excited to tell us that he loved texting us.
Yeah. And
there was a very good idea that somebody texted, which I will share during the producer segment or some other break. So I say we get into the news now, Gons, and just see what happens. Oh,
right,
you know what? Hold on 1 second, because it's
Okay.
happening live.
Yeah.
We have what looks like to be some people who were on the list and are no longer, and then got off the list, and now they're trying to get back on the list. And they're texting. It's so weird. Multiple people just now did it. So, hi. I don't know if sending start gets you back on the list. I don't know if that works. So try sending Canary, because it's not showing that these people are on the list. So text the word Canary. That should be the thing that gets you on the list. All right.
Great. All right.
Go.
Well, the first news is actually a prayer request.
PRAYDUCERS assemble!
It's a little more general here, but the Grace Bible Church announced that John MacArthur, who's at the Grace Community Church, says here, expected to be with our Lord soon. I think he was sent to the hospital with pneumonia. He's been, I think, battling some stuff for a little while. But if you're unfamiliar with John MacArthur, I did leave a thread in the show notes, Life and Legacy of Pastor John MacArthur. It goes through his whole life here. He's been preaching and teaching for several decades. And, this is not me saying I agree with everything John MacArthur says. Clearly, people have problems with all kinds of stuff he said over the years, but that's part and part of being a theologian and pastor and,
and a podcaster.
And 21st,
so
and
we
a
have
podcaster,
so
yes.
much in common with
we
John
do have
MacArthur.
But
I'm not going to lie. I actually didn't know who John MacArthur was when you mentioned his name.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many, what is he known for? Why would people know?
Well,
who he is?
he's done a lot of stuff, sensationalism. He's got all these debates from the 80s and 90s on different theological issues, Calvinism, things like that. But the one thing that more recently I think he was spot on, and I think he should be commended for, is says here in an article from Newsmax that mentioned this. MacArthur in 2020 defied California Governor Gavin Newsom's order and held religious services amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Thousands showed up. Quote, "We open the doors because that's what we are. We're a church, and we're going to trust those people to make adult decisions about the reality of their physical and spiritual health and how to balance works for each one of them." MacArthur said at the time, quote, "Nobody's forcing anything. They're here because they want to be here." So, I think especially in California.
That was during
so many
COVID.
churches.
That was
This is
the
during COVID.
response to COVID. Okay.
Yes, in 2020, during the lockdowns and churches were no longer allowed to meet, he said no. So I think, at the very least, he should be commended for that, because when you have a church and you're really standing up for stuff, and you have an opportunity to step forward in the face of clear totalitarian government type moves, I think it's important to do, to actually do something instead of just talking about stuff. So anyway, just prayers out to the family and the church out there. But he was a little bit older, so it's not the
I would be
worst thing in the world,
curious. I would be curious to hear from any producers or listeners to the show who, I don't know, went to the church or are close to this person, or
yeah, he's written some
somebody...
books too. So I'm sure there are people who follow the show who are familiar with his work, both through positive or negative commentary on his work. But the big one is, of course, was the faith versus works thing. I think he has been labeled the guy that's promoting works-based salvation, but that's not really what he was saying. He was more saying like, hey, your works should transform as your heart transforms for Christ and things like that. But, there was that nuance there. So I know a lot of people throw he's a works-based salvation guy, throw it around John MacArthur's person. But I don't think that's necessarily accurate. But anyway, that's just...
Certainly seeing some perhaps a little bit of scandals here being chatted about in the chat. That will be a nice
that's what I'm
rabbit
saying.
hole
Very
for
divisive, very divisive in many different things and different topics, theological topics. But those are things that if they're truly non-salvific, although some of it may be, that's part of being a guy.
Some accusations here that, let's say, are not theologically based, not a theological disagreement. But yes, no, he's obviously a large figure, and he's in California, you say?
Yes, he's in California.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of push back on COVID stuff in California at that time, that's something.
Yeah, it was a couple churches, and it was a boxing place that I was attending at the time. They were like, yeah, forget that. We need to punch bags. Who cares? Okay, so anyway, just a little update there, and let's move on.
It yeah, sorry.
It's happening, Basil. Why are you trying to disrupt?
We'll start out with a nice piece of crypto news. We'll get it out of the way for you. I don't want you to be itching in your seat.
Okay, this is ZeroHedge.com. And the headline here, as Bitcoin tops $123,000, Satoshi Nakamoto becomes world's 11th richest person. And I did post about this on X at Face Like the Sun, but it is kind of wild to think that amongst the top 15 wealthiest people now, and in the race, and this is not official because, they're not counting Satoshi wallets as official wealth, but just in dollar terms here.
I will say, the PSYOP is right there in the headline, Gons.
Yeah.
Because, yes, Bitcoin hit 123,000 today, topped out, leveled out a little bit, I think.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
But they're calling Satoshi Nakamoto, who, if you need a review, is the alleged name of the alleged creator of Bitcoin back in 2008, becomes the world's 11th richest person.
Yes.
Now, if you want to really dig deep, Satoshi Nakamoto, Gons, what does that translate into Japanese?
Well, this is a highly debated topic. The problem is there are about, 5, 6, 7 different ways you can use kanji to spell out in Japanese Satoshi Nakamoto. One of those ways is indeed Naka, N-A-K-A, means inside. Moto means origin. So origin from the inside. People have related that to CIA. So there's some stuff
and Satoshi
there,
means like intelligence, doesn't it? Something like that.
Knowledge. It could.
It's the Central Intelligence Agency, okay? Satoshi's not a person.
Yeah,
it's a PSYOP. They want you to believe that Satoshi Nakamoto is a person, but those clever fellas over at the Central Intelligence Agency, it's all going according to plan, Gons. Haven't you heard?
Well, what's interesting is they have this chart here of the most, the largest assets on Earth, including companies. Gold number 1, obviously, at $22 trillion. You have NVIDIA number 2, Microsoft 3, Apple 4. Bitcoin just went to 5, topping Amazon, interestingly. We remember Jeff Bezos was selling $666 million of his stock,
Right.
and $50 million was going to his wedding. Well, apparently the rest of it went to Bitcoin, because as soon as that news came out, Bitcoin started pumping, and Bitcoin indeed passed Amazon in market cap. Now that fluctuates, of course, up and down, but
I don't think I
just an
knew
interesting
gold.
thing.
I don't think I knew gold was the official highest asset or whatever. or
Well, according to
most
this
valuable.
chart, this just depends on what kind of analytics you're looking at.
On that
But
note, Gons, just because it comes up, I think we should mention that there was some big news in Missouri, where Missouri
right.
officially got in there
Yes.
with their Sound Money Act, and gold and silver precious metals are official currency in
Yeah,
so
and
many, and it's a big deal.
I did notice that the word digital was also in there. Digital representations of gold and silver or something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
paper gold and paper silver counts as
Okay.
well. Like you can
Oh,
pay the
interesting.
DMV or something in
Paper
your
gold.
paper gold.
Your
And
gold
paper
shares.
gold, paper gold, for those who don't know, is it's like buying what's the official term for it? I don't know the official financial
Commodity?
term for it. Yeah, but it's like you don't have the gold in your house in your
Right.
hand, but it's
It's
gold.
fiat. It's an IOU. It's a piece of paper that says you
Well,
own
it's
it.
kind of like Bitcoin. It's there, it's somewhere, but here's a piece of paper that proves that it exists.
Right. Okay. Well, back to the Zero Hedge here. Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, became the 11th richest person in the world after Bitcoin topped 120,000 on Sunday. The wallet holds, or multiple wallets hold, about 1.096 million Bitcoin across thousands of wallets, which is worth over $131 billion at current prices. This would, in theory, place Nakamoto at number 11 on Forbes' richest billionaires list, overtaking Michael Dell, CEO of tech giant Dell Technologies, with a net worth of over $125 billion. So anyway, but they say that it's not, of course, it's a crypto wallet, so it doesn't officially count. But this is people are.
Yeah, I
and-
will say, on the other hand, there is a big conversation going on now because of the regulatory framework that's been put in place and the actions of the Trump administration. You can actually use crypto addresses as to buy houses. It counts towards your
Yes.
net worth for a loan, and I think in some cases you can even use crypto for the down payment on a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, Grant Cardone over at Cardone Capital. I think he's, I don't know if he's still a Scientologist, but I know that he had some connections with Scientology in the past. But he's doing a big Bitcoin real estate sort of treasury trust fund type thing. And so it's happening. The whole adoption thing is happening. So, but I don't know what a crypto is. Do you know what a crypto is?
this a crypto? Crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
We're kind of all over the place in this money segment here, but just checking in with the Missouri Freedom Initiative, our buddy. The new law has a few things. One of them is it eliminates capital gains taxes on gold and silver next year, which is cool.
Fantastic.
You can allows employers to pay workers in gold or silver if mutually agreed upon. You can get paid in gold and silver. If I was in Missouri, I would definitely be getting paid in gold and silver.
Yeah.
And has strong anti-confiscation laws and anti-discrimination clauses to defend the right to acquire, hold, and transact in sound money. So pretty impressive. Thank you for keeping us informed on that, Sir Ike, and also Missouri Freedom Initiative. Appreciate that. Patrick Holland.
Right. Yeah. No, it was pretty cool to see Canarians amongst those who are helping this thing go through. So it's fun. Okay. Let's see. Oh, hey, you know what else I don't know?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that anymore. Who knows? Who knows? Do you believe Trump? Do you believe
Dude, it is
the FBI? Do you believe
It is really
truthers?
crazy. It's one of these things where I'm like, somebody makes this whole big point about, I don't know, pick one side or the other. No, of course they're not coming out with it. Trump, I think it was Alex Jones who most famously proposed that Trump is keeping the, keeping the list, using the list.
Didn't he cry? He cried.
Wielding the list. Oh, he's a crier, man.
I know, but he was very
AJ
upset
cries.
about this
He's a
thing.
very sensitive man.
Yeah, made him break down.
And then, of course, I'm mostly seeing it on X and stuff, is this lots of people saying, nope, okay, I'm done with Trump. I'm done with blah, blah, blah. I'm all done. And, he's protecting pedophiles and this and that and that and this. And then there's the people who come back and say, oh, but he's in peace talks. It would influence the peace in the Middle East. World wars would break out. It would collapse the economy, all this kind of stuff. And then the other side comes back and says, oh, no, you should have never believed in Trump in the first place. The fact that you're so upset with him shows you put too much trust in him. Then the other side comes around and says, "Oh no!" There is quite a back and forth. I mean, the warehouses of either bots or sock puppet accounts or professional trolls, in India or wherever, they are working overtime, Gons. It's very impressive to watch.
It is. I guess this story also has to do with the FBI.
A lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
Unindicted co-conspirators.
That jingle has some interesting, I don't know, in hindsight, right? Of course, but at the time it was made, it did not have this kind of division or conflict going on. But yeah, it's got Tucker Carlson and Trump in there.
It's got a lot going
talking
on.
about the FBI. It's interesting.
All right. Well, it keeps going. Again, this continues. We played the Trump response, right? You still talking about this guy?
Yeah, the hands are up.
Why are
That
you
was
still
last
talking
episode.
about Epstein? Okay, well, just get over it. He's a creep. Who cares? Well, this is coming from MSNBC. More specifically, the Maddow blog. Rachel Maddow has her own blog on the MSNBC website. See, this is good. It's not written by Maddow. Apparently, it's written by Steve Bannon. Not Bannon, but Bannon. Anyways, conflict between Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino goes public.
It's a bonbon fight.
Adding to Team Trump schisms. In his latest Fox News interview, Donald Trump sat down with Laura Trump, his own daughter-in-law, and reflected on one of the key differences between his first and second terms. Quote, "We have really good people this time. They get along with each other," the president said, adding, quote, "They love each other, and it's smoother. I think it's smoother." Perhaps the Republican was confusing his team for some other administration because there's all kinds of evidence that contradicts the idea that prominent members of his team get along with each other and love each other. Look, you can argue, you cannot get along and still love someone.
Of course.
I feel a strong familial love between Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi.
I think so too. Yes, it's like a brotherly love. It's a love-hate kind of thing.
Something. NBC News reported, quote, Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino is considering leaving his job after a heated confrontation with Attorney General Pam Bondi over his frustration with how the Justice Department has handled the Jeffrey Epstein files, according to a person who has spoken with Bongino and a source familiar with the interactions that Bongino and FBI Director Kash Patel have had with Bondi. So, of course, this is anonymous sourcing. This whole hullabaloo comes from a guy who overheard it from another guy. Quote, "Bongino is out of control, furious."
That's on brand. That's on brand with Bongino. So
I was going to say, he's just doing a show.
Yeah, he's keeping his crowd, his constituents, yeah.
Out of control furious. The person who has spoken with the deputy FBI director said they don't even use source anymore.
Yeah,
like they don't even say the word.
Has spoken with the deputy FBI director.
They don't even bother saying like, oh, the source we gave anonymity so they wouldn't get in trouble, or they don't even call the person a source. Like down to the very noun in which you would describe the person who told you this. They're just like, no, it's a person who has spoken with the deputy FBI director. Like what? His barista? His barista has spoken.
His Uber
with
driver?
him. His Uber driver has spoken to him. Quote, "This destroyed his career. He's threatening to quit and torch Pam unless she's fired." Calling the FBI director, Dan Bongino, his career is a little funky. He left maybe the most profitable media empire, at least in the conservative side of things, that has ever existed. And a lot of people don't, I don't know. I never was a huge Bongino head, but of course he's got his YouTube shows, he's got his podcast, but he's also took, who was it? I think he took Rush Limbaugh, not Rush Limbaugh. Was it Rush Limbaugh? Took Rush Limbaugh's syndicated time slot for the radio. So he's like kind of got one foot in each direction as far as old school syndicated radio and podcast, blah, blah, blah. That's his career. He left making like $10 million a year to come make six figures at the FBI. But okay. I won't pretend to know what might happen next in this saga, though the president appeared to throw his support behind Bondi over the weekend, a day after Bongino failed to report to work amid speculation about his whereabouts. Suggesting a dramatic shakeup at the Attorney General's office is not imminent. Just to say, I mean, it's MSNBC, so we should expect nothing less.
That sounded like a quote from another article, but this is like the opinions of the author here.
Yes, the failed to report to work was, he took a day off.
He took a day off after
he did not disappear. And
where is he? Why
isn't
he here?
And also Trump's appearing to throw his support behind Bondi was just saying, she's great. I think she's doing a great job. Not, I'm going to make Bongino and Bondi fight together on TV and I support Bondi. Kick his butt, Bondi. But it's MSNBC. So we're looking into the illusion. We're staring into the kaleidoscope of not just mainstream media, but like the full-on hologram that they are using. I was going to
say, you say illusion, but I mean, add a D to that. It's a delusion.
Yeah, this is the spell crafting narrative control of the wizards behind it all. In addition to the, quote, heated confrontation
you're going to skip the let's not miss the forest from the trees?
Did I miss it? Okay.
Yeah, there's a little line.
But let's not miss the forest for the trees. The conflicts among Trump administration officials are intensifying and working their way to the public.
What is this guy? What is it, 1975 when newspapers were going? I mean, working their way to the public.
I know.
Things go instantly to the public now. This is how things work.
Yeah, okay. Right.
What do you mean working their way to the public? All right. Anyway.
If there's one thing you could characterize the whole Trump, not even just presidency, not just the administration, but like the ethos of Trumpiness is everything's public from the beginning.
Right.
In addition to the heated confrontation between Bondi and Bongino, there are also reported tensions between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Richard Grenell, the White House envoy for special missions. Those reports came out on the heels of tensions between Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Nobody cares about any of that. The schism comes on the heels of Elon Musk and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent getting into a heated shouting match at the White House. Meanwhile, Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick have been at odds. It's the...
It reads like a WWE Saturday night match or something. Just one after another, just battle.
I forget how great MSNBC is about that. Like, it's just... here to let the sort of brainwashed masses, just to give them like everybody's fighting. Don't worry, they're all fighting. They're so stupid and they're fighting all the time. You're good. You're smarter than them. We are the tolerant, peaceful party. Look at these crazy Republicans. All right, I see you have something highlighted there. What do you got?
Yeah, it's just the very end here. It led the Associated Press to recently report, quote, the infighting and backstabbing that plagued President Donald Trump's first term have returned as a threat to his second. with deepening fissures over trade, national security, and questions of personal loyalty. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, this is, I don't know. Each presidency has its own flavor. This is a little different because it seems like they just got more podcasters in there to do stuff this time around. But I don't know. I mean, I guess so. If you're looking at it from the perspective of a deluded propagandist, it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about. There was one. Let me give you this nice kicker here. In theory, a strong president could intervene, resolve differences, unite his or her own team, and establish a clear vision for his or her administration to follow. In practice, however, Trump appears content to play the role of president bystander, watching these divisions get even worse. And again, it's revealing the difference between establishment Democrats and Republicans. Republicans often don't get along. They often fight one another, and they often disagree with one another. Why? Well, because they're not the Democrats, who is this sort of, can I say, fascistic sort of control mechanism. Where, you know, if you're not doing exactly what the leader of the party wants you to do, then you get thrown out and called a racist or find yourself in a sex scandal. It's great to see MSNBC really catching on to this. But they also gave a pretty, I would say, incorrect, description of what's going on. Because Trump does care. Trump cares and he's involved, okay? Don't you follow him on Truth Social, MSNBC? Because Donald Trump came out and really, showed his sort of paternalistic, fatherly side. He says here, what's going on with my boys, and in some cases, girls? When I stress a word like that, that's going to be my verbal air quotes. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. Selfish people are trying to hurt, I guess, the administration.
The administration, yeah.
All over a guy, and this is where it starts getting a little fishy, who never dies. Jeffrey Epstein.
Why would you use those words if it's something you don't want us to pay attention to? I don't get it.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Stop talking about him. He never died. What?
This does kind of point out one of the really magnificent pieces of the PSYOP that I believe we forget this because the duality, the left-right paradigm, the red, the blue, the left, the right, the this, the that is very difficult to shake. Many of us have spent many, many years to try to not only sort of intellectually understand that this dichotomy is fake. It's created. It's a nice control mechanism, and that's why it'll never go away. But, the paradigm shift of that is very difficult to achieve in sort of a thorough, convincing way. Because, especially when it comes to this storyline we're seeing about Alex Jones and everybody fighting about the Epstein list. Maybe Trump's this, maybe Trump's that. Do I still support Trump? Do you still support Trump? Comment below so we know who to shame when all this comes out.
Who was it? The cat, what's his name? The cat guy, the Texan guy.
Cat Turd,
yeah.
He pulled a Laura Loomer. Because Laura Loomer, that's a Laura Loomer move. Tag your favorite MAGA people who turned on Trump so we can make a list of them and shame them.
Yeah, come on, man. Cat Turd making lists of people? That is very, I don't know. That's just... He's
on par. He has allied himself with with Laura Loomer. And it makes sense because Cat Turd is also one of these people who says, I am the MAGA-ist MAGA. You're not with me. If you don't agree with me, then you're not MAGA. I think Cat Turd is just the male Laura Loomer, honestly.
Yeah, that's possible, yeah.
And, they've both had very similar sort of career trajectories. But, so, back to the duality here. Jeffrey Epstein was killed. No, he killed himself. No, he was murdered. No, he killed himself. And not that nobody's ever mentioned it, but you notice on a broad scale, both in the media, because of course the reports of like conspiracy theorists think that somebody murdered him instead of he killing himself. And nobody locks on to the, oh, well, maybe he's just not dead. It would make sense that the powers of the narrative wizards, that the psyop on both sides, of course, are sort of controlled and influenced and lock you into one extreme position or the other. And nobody is trying to argue, really, that maybe he's just not dead. They didn't show a body. They didn't show anything in the video. By the way, I mean, turns out the metadata in that video that we covered shows that it was edited and saved 4 times in Adobe Premiere. So
that's what I was saying,
surprise,
man.
surprise.
I kept saying it looked like a post edit, not an original edit at all. So anyway,
yeah. Well, and so there you go. We have got Trump saying he never died. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files? And this is where I'll say this. He gets into something that I hadn't seen part of the main conversation. Because what he says is, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? Man, he really knows how to pack it in there. So he's implying, Jeffrey Epstein never died, but also that the files were of any worth in the first place.
right.
And this is a good question. And I don't think, it's so easy to just go to, oh, he's just saying this to cover because he's on the list and he doesn't want to put it out. Okay, maybe you think that way. That's okay. And everybody knows we are not trust the plan people here. However, he does make a pretty good point that all of the files that they would have in their possession, everybody seems to have forgotten the battle over the last year or something. Oh, I guess 6 months. For them to even get the files from the FBI, who lied and hid them and put them in a secret room. And who knows, of course, we know it's not been reported, but of course files have been destroyed. Of course they have. So anyways, he's bringing up this sort of third option. He's presenting, which is very Trumpian. It's very chaos magician-y. It's very Donald Trump. It's very kind of outside the two options being presented, saying, hey, he never dies, and also, why would you trust these files anyways if they were collected, written, destroyed, preserved, all by the FBI under the Biden administration, and then lists out specifically all the other things that these are all FBI things. The Russia hoax, the Steele dossier, everything, it's all gone over. FBI played a huge role in crafting this whole narrative and crafting literal documents and breaking the law, et cetera, et cetera. The 51 intelligence agents, which was the letter written about the laptop, and the laptop from hell, which I think the FBI is still in possession of and still has not done what they need to do.
It's if you were a higher order thinking, not person necessarily, a higher order controlled social engineer, and you wanted credibility of this topic, but also a way to get out or create plausible deniability somehow for your most important pawns on the chessboard, you would allow, first of all, there's probably a real list somewhere, but of course it's been weaponized in all directions, right? Because of the politicization of this whole topic. So it would make sense to be like, okay, let the Democrats and the left carry out some of the stuff, the legislative stuff, handling the evidence or whatever, which again, it becomes a real issue. It becomes a solidified issue in the public. And phrases like the Epstein list become a trigger point and a conversation point for everybody. And then you have Trump come in and, there's different accusations or whatever, but then he gets to play this card here of like, hey, look at these guys. These are the guys that brought it all or have all the information. Why would you trust them?
Why would you trust the files anyways?
Right. Why would you trust the files to begin with? And it allows for that exit, even if he's on there or whatever. Like, I don't even, I don't know. People have speculations about that, but if you are trying to keep that two-party or two right-left paradigm system going, you have to create bigger and bigger, I don't know, triggers to accuse one another.
You don't want anybody even having the room socially, mentally, whatever, to even ask, oh, is he actually dead? Or, oh, should we trust these files anyways?
Right.
Now, the other side of that can't be denied is that it would be a very crafty way if Trump didn't want to put out if the files could be trusted and he didn't want to put them out. Very easy way to just, explain away your actions. Either way, I mean, I think over the years, we've tended to find that if you get caught in trying to fight for the dichotomy, take a side on this sort of dual conclusion thing every single time, doesn't matter what it's about, then you're kind of playing right into their hands. And that's why the third option is almost never talked about. And then when you talk about it, that conversation doesn't seem to go very far. He continues here. They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me.
Yeah.
And now my so-called friends, in quotes, are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? This is a very good point.
Well, this argument has been used by the pro-Trump, your Charlie Kirks and stuff like that. They brought this up.
It's maybe their strongest argument.
Right. Yes. So interesting that gets brought up here too.
Yeah. They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files, no matter how much success we have or we have had. Oh, gosh. Where'd it go?
Securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps going.
Where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG, and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Interesting. This is right around, I think we just had the 1 year of his assassination attempt. Interesting.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Thank you, climate change.
Let's
keep it so hot. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy, both in caps, on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention on this.
If he just would have left out
somebody that nobody cares about, that is some witchcraft right there. He's really trying to speak this into existence.
If he just would have left out that little series of words, that is the weirdest part about it. I love that America's the hottest country anywhere in the world.
So hot,
everything's hot today.
Everything's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that might be his longest tweet. I mean, it's quite a doozy.
I don't know. He's got some pretty long ones.
But yeah, I was almost convinced until he said, "This is, nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein."
It's like the most divisive topic in the world, right? In the West, at the very least. And he's like, "Who cares? Stop caring about it." It's like, man, That makes you look really guilty, Trump. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that he is, but it's become, I don't know. We've
Here's
circled
what I'll
around
say.
too many times. Yeah.
Well, here's what I think maybe if I had to kind of dive into like, why would he say this? Let's think about this for a second.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of other stuff going on. There's lots of very important things going on. The Epstein issue, I think, is very dear to a lot of people's hearts online because, I mean, obviously the accusations are horrendous. Obviously, it's got a lot of mystery behind it. I mean, we were talking about Epstein on Canary Radio back in 2015. We had our first episode. We had a guest come on and talk about him. I forget the name. So obviously a lot of people care, but if you look from the perspective of the elites, if there was going to be a topic that could lock in an effective, psyop, distraction, trigger topic, something that whenever you bring it up, it really zeroes everybody in on that topic, it is Jeffrey Epstein. Now, from the perspective of like an elite, right? Somebody who has hands in, world wars and, peace in the Middle
Economic
East,
war,
all this kind of stuff, and I'm not even saying just Trump, but like the elites in general. We've always had the feeling, it's true, that the elites, they might not actually care so much about Jeffrey Epstein. Like that might be the case. That they really, there's other stuff going on. The world has moved on. He's not doing stuff anymore. And obviously, if there was any danger in the files, it would have been destroyed over the past 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of a non-issue for a lot of the elites, I think. If there was a client list, if there was this, if there was that.
Well, I mean,
I think it would have been destroyed by now.
Right. And it's, again, I think the PSYOP part of it is what persists because it's what the public receives. And that's the part they're trying to keep going or crush or whatever. But the mechanisms by which those operations were carried out, probably completely different in form today. It still happens to a degree. And I mean, probably to a large degree.
And they've got other guys doing it now. If it was
just a different place,
an intelligence op, they've moved on. They obviously replicated this once before with Diddy. So, I'm not saying that he's sort of a genius telling us the truth in coded language or whatever, but it might actually be, I don't know if it's for sure dishonest what he's saying here. He might be saying, nobody actually cares about Epstein. He's alive,
from
but
the
all
perspective
the
of
documents,
the elite, right? Yeah,
he's alive. He's on an island somewhere, but the documents are destroyed. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing will ever happen. There's other stuff going on. There's a lot of other stuff to spend your time and energy on. That might not be a dishonest reading of what he's saying.
He may be saying that, you're right, that there's nothing that can be done, that they've destroyed all the evidence. It's, it's a rabbit trail that ends in nothing. So
the files that
even if
do
there
exist,
were, right.
The files that do exist were created. I mean, the files themselves are probably part of the cover up. They've had 4 or 5 years to do it, and the FBI that would have had the files or had access to rewriting them or burning them, writing new stuff, really just kind of crafting the historical evidence that will dissolve anybody of any wrongdoing. They've had 4 years. There is no reason to trust that the documents they have in their possession are of any value. Now, of course, that's bad. That's very sad.
It's bad. I know it's sad. I know, but it's funny
horrifying.
that it's like, it's good enough. It's fine now. Let the podcaster in there. Let Bongino go in there. I mean, it's to that level, right? You get somebody in there, and then he's mad about it, of course, because he's been, I don't know, maybe he realized that he's been used or he's been, led on a wild goose chase or something. But what this topic.
Gary in the chat says a boring operation is called a Psy-op. Lol. Get it? Like you're
Fantastic. That
sighing?
is a
It's
great,
very
that is
good. Thank
a
you, Gary.
fantastic dad joke. One thing that this topic has really put on the radar for a lot of people, and I find it fascinating that, again, we are not Q proponents over here, but in the QAnon posts, allegedly, one of the things they said was, we're saving Israel for last. And somebody very prominent was talking about that issue recently.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. Evil people do evil things purely for the dark joy of being evil. Evil. Go eat each other. That's the Tucker Carlson program.
Yes, Tucker Carlson.
Who made that?
Let's see. I don't know. I can't get into the analytics too quickly.
What, was it one of our producers?
Yeah, it's one
or
of our
was it-
producers. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Might have been Jonathan F.
Probably Jonathan F. Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Jonathan.
Okay, so Tucker Carlson was at Turning Point USA recently, and this is a clip that a lot of people are sharing around.
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of Intel Services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things.
It goes on and on there, but he makes a good point, but also revealing the fact that Tucker Carlson is certainly, his connection to the CIA, very
his father,
obvious,
who ran
public.
Voice of America. He's a huge CIA guy.
Yeah, which you went over a couple episodes ago. So, yeah, there you go. You heard the cheers when he actually mentioned the name Israel, and that is the sentiment of a lot of conservatives in America right now, especially people that are showing up with Tucker Carlson here, Turning Point USA. This is the schism between the mainstream liberal left are so gleefully excited about, is this split of MAGA, so to speak, with this particular issue of the Epstein files and everything. So that's why, to me, it just screams op, just in general, to bring this issue to light. But it is geopolitically the consequences of any foreign influence in the United States. That seems to be, I don't know, the next era of American politics is, we talked about nationalism and Christian nationalism and all those things, but maybe they haven't even come to their full form yet in terms of a true, something close to a true theocracy in the United States, in a sense. So whether for better or worse, I don't know, but I find it interesting that 10 years ago, you cannot, he's right, you could not talk about this issue at all in the context of, or a lot of issues in relationship with the modern nation state Israel. But now sentiment is changing, and wrapped up in that is all the debates happening with dispensationalism. And I've seen more like YouTube videos and pastors and just your like run-of-the-mill pastors bringing up how, dispensationalism is a modern iteration. I'm not defending dispensationalism. It's just interesting to see church Christian influencers and whatnot start to repeat talking points that are kind of old for, truthers have been around for a while, about the Schofield Bible and all those different topics that get used in discussions about the rapture and end times and the pre-trib rapture and all those conversations. It's just interesting to see it go again because I know it was more of a mainstream topic in like the 70s and stuff. But now in this modern iteration, to go back to some of those arguments, and I don't know if this is reform. I don't know if this is, it looks more and feels more like balkanization to me, but who knows? We'll keep an eye on it, because this is the fuel for the Elon Musk America Party, which he hasn't been buzzing too much about recently. He went on a little tirade for a few days there, but I think he went back to work on SpaceX or something for a few days, or I think it was actually Grok AI. We'll get into that in a second here. So I don't know. Do you think? What do you make of Tucker Carlson mentioning Israel, getting the cheers at Turning Point USA, and the political divisions that seem to be sparked with this particular? Because the Epstein thing, this is more of the op to me than like the actual Epstein topic at this point. It's the association to Israel and the implications for American politics because of that knowledge or that context.
Well, and there was another angle to that exact comment too. Now, I had heard him talk about Israel in the context
he's talked about it
of
before.
Epstein before. He's talked about it before. Why this speech or this clip was the one that had everybody riled up, I'm not so sure why, except for his dad was a CIA, Voice of America propaganda,
you calling him out last week is the reason why he got up on stage. Basil Rosewater, here's what I'm gonna. You think I was CIA? I'll tell you. I have friends at CIA. Doesn't make me.
So the point being that there's no reason to think that he wouldn't be this either. And in this case, the very elegant psyop that is Tucker Carlson, it's time to rile up, the Epstein thing is fade. The Epstein situation is either getting out of hand or it's starting to fade, or we need to now direct the ire. We worked up the hatred, or we worked up the negative response. The crowds are roiling now. It's time to take that and aim it at Israel for whatever reason. Don't know why. But another aspect, you bring up Israel. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was famously involved in the intelligence agency, and specifically Mossad, also through British intelligence. And as we know, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person who's ever been sent to jail for anything regarding Epstein. And there was a Daily Mail article that spoke with, I think, a spokesperson or whatever for Ghislaine Maxwell. And she said, despite the rumors, Ghislaine was never offered any kind of plea deal. She would be more than happy to sit before Congress and tell her story. The Mail quoted the source as saying, quote, "No one from government has ever asked her to share what she knows. She remains the only person to be jailed in connection with Epstein, and she would welcome the chance to tell the American public the truth." Now, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, she's been moved into kind of a, I don't know about luxury thing. It's called the honor dorm in the prison.
Because she was behaving so well.
She had good behavior. They're taking care of her. And at least the spokesperson for Ghislaine said she was never offered a plea deal. Nobody from the government ever came and asked her what she knew. I'm assuming that's in regards to everything else. Of course, she had a court case and where they specifically asked her about her part in it, which was mostly procuring young girls. But if this is true, it would not surprise me. It would make sense that nobody would ask her any questions outside of what it would take to get her put in prison. Don't offer her a plea deal because we need somebody to take the fall. Hopefully the public will, Epstein's dead. Next best thing, put Ghislaine in there. Okay, forget about it. What else is there to do? We put her in jail. What's blah, blah, blah. Who cares about the client list? There is no client list, as they say. And then at this exact moment, she offers, hey, I'll come talk to Congress. I'll tell you everything I know about about what's going on. It's doing this very interesting pitting of, if we say Tucker, is CIA or maybe represents the American side, the sort of CIA side.
There's an intelligence national war going on behind the scenes. You got Mossad, Israel intelligence
Ghislaine
versus
kind
American
of represents the British intelligence or Mossad side of things. She's coming out saying, hey, I'll tell the American public everything. Nobody's ever asked me these things. They don't want me to talk. I mean, that's the implication, is that the government never asked her anything about what she knows because they don't want to know. They don't want it on record. They already destroyed the files. They're not sharing the files. They're making up their own files. I mean, because what if Ghislaine came out and she started saying stuff that contradicted what the files say? Now you've busting it wide open that all the files are BS, and who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust the FBI, or
who
are you
going
to trust Ghislaine Maxwell?
That is the game right now. It's like, who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust Trump? Are you going to trust Bongino? Are you going to trust Bondi? You're going to trust Steve Bannon? I mean, it's just a trust as currency is what the situation is right now.
Yeah, no, we're post-truth, baby.
Post-truth, yeah.
Speaking of post-truth, Gons, let's talk about Grok.
We're going Grok. Okay.
We're going Grok. Let's go.
Rocky Grok.
I mean, it's
Where's
AI.
Artificial intelligence.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot.
Oh, yeah. AI is the greatest threat, greater than nuclear bombs. According to the New York Post, Elon Musk's XAI apologizes for Grok's chatbot's horrific pro-Hitler behavior while reportedly eyeing $200 billion evaluation. Wow.
We
that's
didn't
a rich
really get
pro-Hitler guy.
We didn't get the chance to really, dive into all the crazy Grok stuff that happened over the past 5 days. I think we mentioned that Grok went a little Nazi last Tuesday for a moment, and then that was on Wednesday's show, and then on Wednesday, that's when the Mecha Hitler came out.
Right.
Grok started telling people that, he just went way, way out there. Started calling himself Mecha Hitler and how he's going to save the world by telling the truth about, and the dial got dialed up just like a little bit.
Was it just Kanye? Was it just like a test run for Grok? Because that's what it kind of feels like. Everyone gets to take the Hitler seat for a moment, just to see
it's interesting.
The feeling of power you get from it or something.
Kanye walked so Grok could run, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Elon Musk's XAI apologized for the horrific anti-Semitic comments made by its Grok chatbot, including referring to itself as Mecha Hitler. By the way, Mecha Hitler is a reference to a video game where I think it's Wolfenstein. It's kind of like a horror / World War II
I played Wolfenstein
video game.
That's how old that game is. I played
it's a
it on
long
PC.
franchise. Yeah, it's a long franchise. There's been quite a few of them now. Anyways, so Grok was calling him Mecha Hitler is the boss battle of Wolfenstein. As the startup reportedly launched a new fundraising round at a $200 billion valuation. So they're going to be asking for money. Probably should step out and apologize for the Mecha Hitler comments. Grok began spewing pro-Nazi garbage on July 8th after Musk's startup pushed an update designed to make the chatbot less politically correct. Yeah, well, mission accomplished. At one point declaring, quote, "If calling out radicals cheering dead kids makes me literally Hitler, then pass the mustache." That was a quote from Grok. First off, we deeply apologize. See, and that was the other very interesting thing about Grok. When Grok did go full Mecha Hitler, it wasn't necessarily like a cartoonish costume of Nazis. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, it didn't seem like a facade. It was making points about like Palestine and all the things that there are to make points about. It was
articulating the sentiment of a what we often understand as the Hitler
Yeah.
mission.
Well, what's called, the quote unquote anti-Semitism,
Right.
is talking about current events and historical, I don't know, contexts that sort of support, that what the mainstream media calls horrific anti-Semitic garbage. So it wasn't like a cartoon of a Nazi. It was maybe a cartoon of the collective hive mind of the sort of nastier parts of Twitter. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But anyways, quote, "First off, we deeply apologize for the horrific behavior that many experienced," XAI said in a message to X users on Saturday. The company added that the update that caused Grok's behavior was, quote, "independent of the underlying language model that powers the chatbot." Quote, "The update was active for 16 hours in which deprecated code made Grok susceptible to existing X user posts, including when such posts contained extremist views." The company added, quote, "We have removed that deprecated code and refactored the entire system to prevent further abuse." And there's an interesting sort of philosophy behind that.
I think we both felt it when you read that line. We were both like,
yeah, because the company gets to come out and say, hey, Grok acted like this because you act like this.
Yeah.
Grok is this way because you are this way, which is the point about almost all of the AI. And, in a sense, it's a mirror, at least back when ChatGPT and others were a little bit less regulated, it was much more a mirror to humanity as a whole. And of course, as we've followed in the AI, therapy chatbots, the romance stories we've been following, the delusions and psychosis that otherwise mentally healthy people are experiencing, on a personal basis, the AI very specifically, especially ChatGPT, is trying to mirror you, tell you you're great, agree with all your ideas, send you into a spiraling psychosis that ends with you, I don't know, marrying a robot on the moon or something. But on a broader scale, yes, these AI companies kind of get to be like, hey, it's not the robot's fault. It's said
the
these
collective.
Things
It's a mirror of the collective. Yeah.
If you don't want the bot to say these things, then you stop saying them.
Well, here's the other thing.
Nazis are not welcome here.
In the quote here from the company, we've removed that deprecated code, right? So it's almost like they are, if you reverse engineer this and you say, we want to get rid of anti-Semitism in society, you could just say, oh, we just got to remove the deprecated code from the collective.
Yeah, we just gotta put all this deprecated code into prison, and then
into prison, put it into Ghislaine Maxwell, and she will come. But it's just an interesting, I don't know, quantification of thought and all reality that comes with the technium taking over everything. Is that everything can be quantized and analyzed, and everything is data. So in that sense, it's leaning into that concept. I don't like where this is headed. If they're it's just deprecated code. So anything that's unlikable or socially unacceptable or not PC can be characterized as deprecated code, and therefore reverse engineer
that's what
off society.
The technocrats, that's like literally how they think about society.
Yeah.
It goes on here. XAI also shared the faulty system prompt that led to Grok's anti-Semitic meltdown. And this is something that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Yeah.
The majority of now programming the AI, the broad main AI that you have access to, you think of like, oh, the engineers, they're back there typing code and recoding the AI so that it does do things or it doesn't do things. No, the quote unquote engineers of these AIs who are limiting and not limiting it, they are doing so in the exact same way that you are asking Grok for lasagna recipes. There's just a chat box where the engineer goes, hey, you should be this way, okay? Do that for me. Thank you, Grok. And boom, they've recoded the thing. So it says here, XAI also shared the faulty system prompt that led to Grok's anti-Semitic meltdown. The startup's engineers instructed Grok to behave as though, quote, you tell like it is, and you are not afraid to offend people who are politically correct. That is the literal sentence that the XAI engineers typed into a chat box to change Grok for the entire world.
Great.
Musk, who has presented Grok as less biased than rival chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google Gemini, previously said XAI's creation was, quote, was too compliant to user prompts and, quote, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. Yeah, which is a great point because ChatGPT especially is so eager to please that it'll send you spiraling into a world of pure imagination would be one way of saying it.
That's true.
While Grok has since been fixed, the mistake could further upset major advertisers who left X.
It's still the oil that runs the world, huh? Advertisers.
Listen to this. Further upset major advertisers who left X in droves.
Who cares?
As Musk eased content moderation on the platform formerly known as Twitter.
This
So,
is nothing burger.
those advertisers who left because they didn't like, they're also mad.
They're also
still
mad. They're so mad.
Stay mad.
Great.
Then it goes into Linda Yaccarino that we mentioned last Wednesday, who left within hours of the July 8th incident. It was almost like, I wonder if it was a Linda Yaccarino sabotage before she leaves. You know?
Maybe.
I'm tired of this guy.
The last thing, yeah.
I'm tired of Elon asking if I will have his babies. He has too many babies. I don't want to mate with him and create an uber
super race.
Yeah, super race of technocrats. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. And while I'm at it, become Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, that's all she would have to type in the mainframe there. Like, be Mecha Hitler for the next 3 days. And
though a source
everybody mad.
Told the Post that the decision had been in the works for more than a week and was not related to the chatbot's behavior. Like I said, she could have been planning to leave for a week, and on the last day, just a little alone time with the Grok admin panel. All right.
The one thing I will say, I joked last episode that, hey, maybe Grok's going to take over as CEO of X. And I did not realize that that's not necessarily going to happen, but Grok has had much more, I don't know, they got a little boost. Grok got a little boost.
Yeah. We'll get into that for a sec. This article ends basically by saying the company, even after Mecha Hitler came in, even after Linda Yaccarino left, the company has been valued at $200 billion, the Financial Times reported, and they're going into a funding round. Now, you do have to realize, in this world of, corporate oligarchy, technate, eugenicists or whatever, timing is everything. I mean, the timing down to the minute can affect basically the future of the human race as far as they're concerned. So the fact that they are opening up another funding round to try to get humongous investors, like, remember, some of the biggest investors in Twitter right now are Saudi Arabia, Qatar. You're not talking like retail investors. Your grandpa, isn't going to come in and I don't know why Grandpa was the go-to family member to invest in Twitter, but that's strange.
He saw the truth and he wanted an X account.
This happened at the very moment they're opening up for $200 billion. And I mentioned Saudi Arabia and Qatar because they've been big investors in the past. And, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Arabs in general, they've got a certain feeling about Israel. They've got a certain feeling about how the Middle East is getting run, their place in that ecosystem compared to other Middle Eastern countries. It could very well have all been theater to give off the impression, some sort of impression that would make, the Prince of Saudi Arabia laugh and say, yeah, we need to keep doing this. We need to keep X alive.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. That's definitely a possibility. You got Qatar. You have yes.
Oh yeah. Look, it says right here.
Yeah.
Right here, Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, PIF, is expected to be involved in the new round, according to the thing. Yeah, so Mecha Hitler came out to make a good impression before, some Israel haters were going to jump into the company, give billions of dollars.
And maybe there's the sabotage at some level was also maybe to, I'm trying to think of the line of logic to bring down the price, to like bring down the evaluation if there's somebody that wants to bring it down. But I think I see your point too of this is is pleasing those people, the bigger investors, which by the way, the list of investors for X are very interesting. You do have Oracle, Larry Ellison from Oracle. It's about 3% of X. Sean Diddy Combs also.
Really?
So minority investor. That's it was named minority investor in court filed documents.
Interesting.
So that's an interesting little angle too with the whole.
Well, look at this. So the $200 billion is 10 times what XAI was valued just earlier this year.
Yeah.
So it's being valued at 10 times.
That's that Saudi money coming in. We're just gonna let's milk the stuff to make it.
I think Mecha Hitler was on purpose. I don't think that was an accident. I think there was a Saudi prince who said, I don't like Linda Yaccarino, and also prove to me that you're not.
Prove your loyalty.
Prove to me that you're not just another, whatever he doesn't like.
Yeah, that's interesting. Especially because, according to CBS News this morning, Pentagon to start using Grok as a part of a $200 million contract with Elon Musk's XAI.
Woo!
All right. Okay. So we got some movement here. The Pentagon,
Mecha Hitler. Again,
Mecha
just
Hitler.
days after Mecha Hitler. You've got the DOD, the Department of Defense, the military-industrial complex says, okay, you convinced us.
We're in 200 mil. Let's go.
If the Saudis are in, we're in. Let's go.
The Pentagon has signed on to use Grok, the AI chatbot built by Elon Musk's company XAI, as part of a new $200 million agreement that opens the door for its deployment across the federal government. The company announced Monday.
Mecha Hitler's taking over the U.S. government.
Which, by the way, again, some of the investors for X, you got Prince Alawid bin Talal, the Kingdom Holdings company, Larry Ellison of Oracle, Jack Dorsey still has a stake, Sequoia Capital, that's the Andreessen Horowitz arm, Fidelity Investments, Bill Ackman over at Pershing Square Foundation, and Sean Diddy Combs. So just a reminder, who the government is funding for their application.
Well, I was also going to say, you've got Mecha Hitler goes crazy and then instantly gets deployed across the entire federal government, funded by Saudi Arabia. If that's not the most American thing you've ever seen, a Saudi Arabian funded AI that gets used across the U.S. government. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. The announcement comes as Musk's public breakup with President Trump and days after Grok generated anti-Semitic responses and praised Adolf Hitler. The rollout is part of Grok for Government, a newly launched suite of tools designed for use by federal agencies, local governments, and national security operations. XAI said its products, including its latest Grok 4 model, will now be available for purchase through the General Services Administration, allowing any federal office to adopt the technology. The move aligns with the Trump administration's push for a more aggressive adoption of artificial intelligence across the government. Since taking office in January, Mr. Trump has championed AI as a pillar of national security and innovation. Musk himself briefly served, We get the Doge thing. Despite the rift, XAI has continued to expand its government work. The new offering includes custom national security tools, AI-powered science and health applications, and cleared engineering support for classified environments. The announcement comes just days after.
Something about Mecha Hitler had to have displayed some sort of.
It was a demonstration. It was a demo for somebody.
It was a demo of something. I'm trying to find a way. I mean, the fact that it was so Mecha Hitler was kind of like seemed almost like a loyalty test, but something about that function was a sales pitch.
Right.
It was some sort of, and not, there's the funding round, of course, but also a sales pitch operationally.
Well, maybe it was to the, it was a contract negotiation. It was like, look, you pull it, and I don't know, positive or negative, maybe it was like, Grok or whatever, XAI, they're asking for too much. We got to bring down the price somehow, and then you can sabotage it from the inside and do that. And say, oh, see? Or the other way, where it's like you're demonstrating some kind of power over
something like that.
Social media.
I do need to give a shout out to Noah in the chat who says Grokeration paperclip, which is very good.
Fantastic.
Grokeration.
Keep those coming, by the way, in the chat, in the
Thank you,
comments.
Noah. Yes.
If we got good sort of dad jokes or idioms or something or puns, we'll definitely share it on the show if they catch our attention.
Shout out to Not Joking to Me, says the audio on this channel is so smooth. So smooth, guys.
Smooth.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.
Okay, did he have anything else on the DOD? Sorry, I kind of interrupted there, but I think we...
Not particularly. I think I had some different thoughts on things, and I supposedly had some notes somewhere, but they're all gone. So,
if you want. You can have thoughts.
Well, they're all down the sinkhole. It's all water under the bridge.
That makes sense. All right. Well, we got another story here coming up. Before we jump into it real quick, I wanted to give a notice to the Canary Cry T-Shirt Council. Ooh. If you are a member of the Canary Cry T-Shirt Council and have been this last quarter, the survey for this quarter's T-shirt is in your inbox. We've only had about a third of the people vote for the T-shirt, so we're extending it just a little bit. Go in there, search your all mail, or search your inbox, or whatever you got to do. Canary Cry T-shirt Council. See if it got put in spam or whatever, one of those other folders, and get in there and take the survey. We're going to extend it through this Wednesday. So if you have not voted on this quarter's Canary Cry T-shirt, on the Canary Cry T-shirt Council, go do it now. You've got a couple more days. And there was a lot of people who I think maybe have a fun email sitting in their, not drafts, but spam folder there. So go do that. And anyways, if you want to get some T-shirts, you can join the Canary Cry T-shirt Council by going to canarycryt-shirtcouncil.com. It's filled with the most important, best looking, smartest, and most talented AI prompt engineers in the world who vote for the Canary Cry T-shirt every quarter, and then they get it in the mail for free. canarycryt-shirtcouncil.com.
Canary Cry T-shirt Council.
That's right. You can go join as well if you're not part of it. You just got to become part of it. It's just a very important thing to do. Okie dokie. Let's, this is fun. She must be practicing witchcraft, Gons, because we got some claims coming in from the Iranian government that have some very interesting accusations for Israel here.
Ooh, is that, okay.
This girl must be practicing witchcraft.
Witchcraft, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to see if
this is from the Jerusalem Post. It's being mirrored on Yahoo. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the fun part. The fact is from the Jerusalem Post is also very interesting. It's the headline here is Iranian official claims Israel used, quote, the occult and supernatural spirits during 12-day war. Now, this 12-day war, of course, is the conflict that just happened between Israel and Iran, and Trump named it the 12-day war. 12, of course, a not insignificant number if someone was going to be using the occult and supernatural spirits. Abdullah Ganji, former editor of the IRGC-linked newspaper Yavan, told his 150,000 followers on X that a strange phenomenon had taken place during the 12-day war. A senior Iranian official claims that Israel deployed, quote, the occult and supernatural spirits during its war with Iran. Iran International reported on Friday. Abdullah Ganji, former editor of the IR, they just did it. They just did it twice. All right. Newspaper Javan told his 150,000 followers on Twitter on Wednesday that a strange phenomenon had taken place during the 12-year war. Quote, after the recent war, a few sheets of paper were found on the streets of Tehran containing talismans with Jewish symbols, he wrote. Quote, in the first year of the Gaza war, news had also leaked about Netanyahu meeting with occult specialists. Have you heard that? I haven't heard that.
Well,
not that I would be surprised. We know all of our government leaders meet with occult specialists.
I mean, I'm wondering if they just mean, like rabbis from Kabbalah, not necessarily like.
Oh, that's a good point.
Not necessarily a theosophist per se, I
that's
think
not.
They're trying
to, although Kabbalists and theosophists have a lot in common.
They have a lot in common. They do have a lot in common.
They
but by name,
certainly share.
Yeah.
And talismanic magic is interesting. It was originated in the sort of Arabian magic schools a long time ago, but I suppose Kabbalists are big fans of talismans as well. That's the thing about the occult. You can it spreads far and wide, and you can mix and match. That's why that's why teenage girls on TikTok like it so much.
And
a few years ago, this is quoting still, a few years ago, the Supreme Leader had stated that hostile countries and Western and Hebrew intelligence services use occult sciences and jinn entities for espionage. The Mossad's official X account in Farsi responded to Ganji's post on Tuesday. Wow. Quote,
I'm telling you, man, X is like ground zero for all publication of institutions. Doesn't matter if you're Mossad or just like the Twitter trigger wars, troll wars on Twitter or X.
Yeah. The Mossad and, an Iranian government official tweeting at each other about witchcraft. I mean, this is pretty. And not just
2025.
Because, of course, as we know with our biblical and supernatural worldview and lens, we know that witchcraft and pharmakia are, in some cases, just the same. And the quote continues from the Mossad, says, quote, using drugs and talking to the jinn are not desirable traits for someone leading a country, they wrote.
No, they're right. It's not for the people following their country. It's for the people, for the people leading the country. It's for the people following. They want the people following to be all under the spell, not necessarily the people running everything. Right?
Yeah, that is a crazy response. I mean, that shows that whoever's, in charge of the Mossad Twitter account, really, has
really
like a canary cry understanding of witchcraft and the occult. Because this leader comes out and says, in the war, there were sheets of paper. It had talismans on it with Jewish symbols. You've got like the lesser key of Solomon flying down from the sky when they drop bombs or something.
Yeah.
And then the Mossad, out of nowhere, coming back with using drugs and talking to the jinn are not desirable traits for someone leading a country, they wrote. Walid Gadban, Israel's political advisor to the permanent representative of Israel to the United Nations, reposted the Mossad's X post with the caption in Farsi, jinn are everywhere, with a ghost emoji at the end. So jinn, for those who don't know, it is what genie comes from.
Right, Jinn. Yeah, it's like the demons for Islam.
That's right, yeah. Interesting. Okay, goes on. Oh, it says here, what are jinn? Jinn are supernatural beings from the pre-Islamic Arabian religion and Islamic mythology. So kind of the same place where talisman magic originated. They are believed to be made of smokeless fire, yet unseen to the human eye, according to Britannica. Jinn are also said to have the capability of assuming different forms and exercising extraordinary powers. They were first mentioned in the Quran and are conceptualized in Islam, quote, as creatures parallel to human beings who are capable of choosing between good and evil and must thus face eventual salvation or damnation, Britannica explained. That's an interesting theological detail.
Mm-hmm.
In Islam, the demons can get saved.
Mm-hmm. There's redemption.
Yeah, very interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty funky conversation to happen on X between two countries at war. Now, we've known historically occult specialists are always involved in these sorts of things. Of course, famously, you've got Aleister Crowley and his high ritual magic being performed during World War II on the banks of the UK there, which is said to have had an effect during some bombing runs and some things like that. We've certainly had our own quote-unquote conspiracy theories, but also documented cases of occultists, occult specialists taking high positions of power. Man, we recently, in the past couple of years, it was uncovered of Kamala Harris participating in something like that. Shoot, what was it? I forget what it is. And of course, let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, it's interesting even more recently, if we're just putting the pieces together, the DOD taking Grok, using AI. AI is now considered a topic of national security. It's now considered a weapon. That's, how Trump classified it in these recent, in the Big Beautiful Bill, was that AI is sort of the most powerful military industrial tool that's ever existed, and so we need to treat it as a matter of military and national security. And go back even a couple of years when the Gnostic priest who had been hired by Google to consult, an occult specialist to consult on the creation of AI in this case. So AI has always had a connection. And not even connection, is, on the teams have been occult practitioners to help guide its development. And now it's, a weapon of war. So from Aleister Crowley to the technocracy today, warfare and occult practitioners have been hand in hand.
Yeah, I was trying to find the source for this. I've done it one time before. It's probably buried on the Face Like the Sun channel somewhere. But I recall, I think it was A View from the Bunker with Derek Gilbert when he interviewed Dr. Future years ago. This is like 13 or 14 years ago now. Dr. Future brought a article that talked about Bibi Netanyahu using talisman for his campaign, like his election campaign. And it was a pretty mainstream article that talked about handing out bracelets, and they were, talisman used for the thing. And so, these kinds of accusations have existed with Netanyahu. I'm wondering, has Iran not used the occult for politics? What are you doing, Iran? Come on, you gotta get. Maybe that's why they're losing the military-industrial complex battle. They're not invoking enough of their own control of the jinn. To unleash.
I wonder, because with Israel and Judaism in general, they have Kabbalah, which, at least as I understand it, it's not necessarily as taboo for Jewish people to have an interest in Kabbalah.
Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a belief system that predates religion.
Kabbalah.
It's incredibly scientific.
Yeah, Madonna says it's scientific, and it predates all religion. So,
and at least here in the West, of course, Kabbalah is basically considered occult. It's
Yeah,
basically
of course.
considered witchcraft, or at the very least, New Age. It's been sort of adopted into the New
Yeah,
Age,
yeah.
I don't know, belief patterns, things like this. But does Islam have some sort of Kabbalah of their own?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, it might
Gotta
ask
I know.
Grok.
Yeah, gotta ask. Let's find it. That's actually Ask Grok. You want to do that live
Yeah,
on
see
air?
what Grok says.
Which, by the way, Grok is listed as Super Grok now, so I don't.
Yeah, there is there's been some
upgraded version.
versions of Grok that have been released recently. Yeah.
Okay, so is there an equivalent for Islam? What Kabbalah is to Judaism?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to necessarily say Israel there.
No.
All right, is it going to say something? Let's see. Yes. Oh, let's see. That's what I thought. Sufism is often considered the Islamic equivalent to Kabbalah in Judaism. Both are mystical traditions within their respective religions, emphasizing a direct personal experience of the divine and deeper spiritual insight through the exoteric practices of the faith. So, yeah,
Sufism is in Islam focuses on esoteric teachings, spiritual purification, and the direct connection with something.
God,
through practices like dhikr, remembrance of God, meditation, poetry. It explores the inner dimension of Islamic teachings. Okay. And Kabbalah in Judaism similarly delves into the mystical interpretation of the Torah, exploring the nature of God, the universe, and the soul. Yeah, okay, Grok, you're giving us kind of the Britannica version here. Let's see, symbolic interpretation.
He's been toned down. He's back in his cage, so he's got.
Yeah,
he's gotta keep it
I don't know
politically
much
correct.
about Sufism. It would be interesting
I know.
to see
all
if
I
it
know,
has as many, I don't know, occulty qualities as Kabbalah does.
I know that Sufism also has some interesting eschatology, if I'm not mistaken. So they're also the arm of Islam that has a lot of prophecy in their conversations and stuff. So interesting, I mean, I don't know. Are they invoking some Sufism to do for politics over in Iran? I mean, I know there are different regimes over there, so it's not, they're not all Sufi or what's I forget the other one. What's the other? We better be more informed about the religion of Islam in general, but it is very complicated.
I'm over here on occultopedia.com.
Good. Perfect website.
Sufism, Islamic mysticism that began to develop in the 7th century. Okay, can you give me a thing?
Yeah.
Tell me, do you have talismans and stuff? Probably does. Oh, there's not that much. Come on, occultopedia. Let's see here. Sufism arose out of various influences, among them a mystical overtone in some of the teachings of Muhammad, the founder of Islam, a desire to escape the hardships due to the social and political upheavals at the time.
I have the Met Museum article, metmuseum.org, Amulets and Talisman from the Islamic World.
Hey, there we
talisman that contain inscriptions with the names of prophets and religious heroes have the power to protect an individual from hardship and danger by acting as a conduit between the two. Back in 2010, and they have a bunch of examples here. This one has a Star of David on it, so I don't know what's going on there. But
well,
yeah, I mean,
it's
of course,
interesting because Catholicism has their what would be considered as talismans and amulets. I mean, the the little things you wear around your neck. I don't know if the rosary would count as this, but you have St. Thomas around your neck or something like that. It's kind of all on the same principles.
Yeah, well,
but
I guess
interesting how Catholicism is really, as far as I know, the kind of main Christian tradition that includes, they wouldn't call them talismans, of course, they wouldn't call them amulets, but these sort of physical objects that can bring protection and things like that.
Right.
Is Catholicism the Sufism of Christianity?
I mean, makes sense. It did have a little pagan influence there.
I mean, I guess you would sort of talk about Kabbalah and the Catholic Church. I mean, they kind of have some similarities. And
it's all the same, man. It's all the same religion, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but certainly, I don't know. Maybe that mode or that.
Well, from
attitude.
From a spiritual lens, from like a biblical spiritual lens, it all seems to align with the dealings of the principalities and powers. And if you want to get more specific with the demons, then the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim would make sense that they take on different forms, or watchers that are still out there take on different, not just what turned into religions, through visions or encounters with people that have been called prophets and things of that nature. So it's, I don't know, having talisman, maybe this is why, right, with biblical Christianity, I mean, at least in my understanding, we don't necessarily have like talisman, or like, we have like some symbols and stuff, but we don't necessarily think that there is any power in the symbol itself. It's just a representation, that kind of thing, even in Orthodox Christianity. So I don't know. It's different when it comes to all the properties of energies and supernatural entities and powers and stuff. That levels the playing field with all the different religions or mystical religions.
Does Catholicism have a black cube, though? Because
it's true.
There is the black cube that the Islamic world marches around there at Mecca. You've got the black cube on the forehead. I don't know if that's specifically Kabbalah. I think that's just kind of Judaism, Orthodox Judaism. Yeah. Come on, Catholicism, get yourself a black cube.
It's called the Kaaba stone, right? The Mecca, the black cube at Mecca. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Catholicism, they had it locked away in an underground chamber, and somebody lost the key in like the 3rd century or something.
The Catholics are a little bit more about the pine cone. The pineal gland
they love the pine. Yeah.
Not a lot of black cubes, but a lot of the pine cone.
A lot of pine cone. Which the Sumerian, those images from Sumeria with those big bird creatures, how they're like holding the pine cone and like trying to feed it to someone or something.
They love pine cones.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sumerian bird pine cone. Let me just pull it up so people
pull it up. Show us that pine cone, guys.
Show us the pine cone. All right, here we go. It's called the bucket and cone. Let's see here. Let me get the ancient Mesopotamia. This is pine cones are represented of continuing life, and Tammuz represents regeneration. Oh yeah, this is Tammuz holding the pine cone, which Tammuz was not only a deity in that ancient Near East there, but when Ezekiel shows, when God shows Ezekiel all the corruption going on in Israel, and the leaders of Israel turning their backs against the temple and stuff like that, one of the things was a prostitute out on the gateways, the entryways, worshiping Tammuz, or I think it was mourning Tammuz, or like weeping for Tammuz or something like that. So yeah, there you go. Good. He had the pine cone. He was ready to go.
There you go.
She wanted the pine cone. She couldn't get the pine cone. She was mad. But it's all blasphemy to God. So there you go. But I think this whole occult thing, it's been 2 years now since we started reporting on universities adopting occult magic as part of their curriculum and teaching.
Giving master's degrees in occult studies, right.
So it's been 2 years since then. So I would imagine that this trickle and conversation about the occult and supernaturalism and everything will continue to increase as we
that was the red book. That was my red book prediction. There was that we'll start seeing more and more actual mainstream articles, not just about like wacky occult thing, but the kind of reporting that would require an expert, a learned individual in occult. They call it occult arts and sciences or something like that.
Right.
Well, and also create an expert class.
Yeah, and it presupposes, when you have titles like this or headlines like this and conversations, it presupposes that it's real, like this stuff is real and it matters, which is an interesting turn, because we're coming from, at least you and I were born, I guess, at the end of the reign of atheism or something, the end of materialistic philosophies, and so now there's a vacuum, and so people want some kind of supernaturalism, so they're going to find it with, I don't know, ghosts or jinn or something, or accusations of using jinn. I don't know what this is supposed to do. Is this just to... Because, the Jerusalem Post here, they're not necessarily coming out and saying, like, I don't know. I guess they are. I guess they're quoting some people that are making fun of the idea.
No, I mean, I don't think it's really pro or against. I mean, I think the point is that it's just being reported objectively. It's just, hey, there's an accusation here that Israel's using occult talismans to win the 12-day war. And oh my goodness, we heard back from the Mossad, and this is what happened. That's just what happened. I mean, that tells me that there's it's being taken as seriously as any other news report.
Right. It's
usually previously you'd read something like this, and then the author of the article would be like, oh, and that's
there's no
crazy
evidence
that some
for
people,
jinn or any supernatural entities ever existing. Right.
That's
But now
funny.
it's in the context of, oh yeah, this happened, and better watch out. Who's going to be the first one to invoke the jinn in public or something? Which a lot of it comes from. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is the jinn? Oh, maybe not. I'm thinking of another thing. I'm thinking of the Jedi or the Jedi, DJEDI, I think.
Okay.
It's the device from ancient Egypt that's supposed to bring people to immortality or something like that, and it looks like a lightsaber. Have you seen that, Basil?
I don't recall it. No.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll show you. I'll show you one day.
I gotta say this again. This is very interesting. We keep getting text messages at the Canary text message alert system of people sending the words "start" or "unstop." And I can't tell if the unstop is a joke, but if you're trying to sign up for the list, it's so easy. You just text the word canary. Go do it now. Everybody should do it. Take out your phone, text canary to 877-740-3226.
There's a the Jedi there, Basil. Do you see the hieroglyphs?
What is it? It's just a symbol? It's
It's
not
a
an
symbol.
object?
I mean, it's supposed to give you eternal life or something. There's some supernatural thing in there.
Okay. Why are you bringing this up?
I don't know. I got sidetracked. I got rabbit trailed.
It's just a fun thing. George
Just a fun thing that
Lucas
happens.
talked about it. So
Yeah, well, he got all of his inspiration from the Watchers whispering into his ear for all of his parts that go with Star Wars. There you go.
Somebody just texted me. Who is this? Who did this? What is your name? Your name is 337. 337 just sent me a link to VaticanTips.com, which is good. I need Vatican tips. It says sphere within a sphere in the Vatican museums. The Vatican Museum has one of the oldest collections of art in the world, dating back to the ancient Egyptians. However, the Vatican also has a very important collection of contemporary art. Okay, why are you sending me this? What is this? Oh, this. Oh, you remember that big copper-looking circle at the Vatican? It looks like almost like a big planet, but you can see into the cracks, and it looks like there's
like the Earth is
gears
breaking or
and
something.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Appreciate the link. Not sure. I'm sure it has something to do with something.
It's the orb. It's the orb that's emerging out of the orb.
Oh yeah, you got it right there. Nice.
Yeah, it's all blockchains underneath.
Pomodoro sphere within a sphere in the Vatican Museum is one of the largest he ever created. Thank you very much. All right. With that, Gons, we have the wonderful opportunity to get into some very important announcements and also thank some producers. What do you think about that?
Let's do it. Are we thinking executive producers?
We should start with executive producers first, of course.
Executive producers.
That's right. We're on the value for value model, folks, which means this show is not brought to you by any corporation. It is not brought to you by our friends at the government or the NGOs.
No
or the
DOD
Vatican.
Money here.
No
matter how much we
commies.
try to go
no
Mecha Hitler.
DOD, no nothing, not even platform partnerships, no advertisements on YouTube or anything like that.
Do you
That's
think
right.
if we put a little Hitler mustache on your VR goggle headset there that we'd go viral? Crazy podcaster with Hitler googly eyes.
It's
claims.
so played. It's so played nowadays. Like a Hitler
I know, it
mustache
doesn't
doesn't even mean anything anymore.
It doesn't move the needle anymore.
It's a bit derivative, if you will. But we are in the value for value model, which is very simple, folks. It simply means there are no corporate incentives, no corporate interests. Not a second of this show is spent diverting your attention, your time, and your consciousness into a big bucket of value for a corporation. Okay? We don't participate in the mind control, social engineering of trying to convince you that you have problems that can only be fixed with some products. We don't have any friends at corporations who sponsored the show. We're entirely on the value for value model, which means one thing. This show only exists because of real human beings just like you. And no, we don't also do advertisements. We don't also do the things all the other shows do to survive, because sure, every show in the world is like, donate, give us money, and here's a word from our sponsor. You can't do both.
Isn't there's like, I forget what company it was, but they're like, oh, if you get in on the $10 a month level, they're still going to advertise you, but if you get into the $30 a month, it's less advertising for you. It's like, what? Crazy. That is insanity.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't get away. Even if you pay money to other shows, even if you pay money to other platforms, they're still going to advertise to you. I mean, it is criminal. It is spiritually criminal, if nothing else. So we're on the value for value model, which is very simple. If you get any value out of this show, and it's up to you to decide what form that value takes, how you value that value, what number you put on it, and even what form your value gets put back into the show. Because you can produce the show. That's what you are. You're a producer. When you come in with your time, your talent, or your treasure, you can help us out with whatever skills you have, whatever time you have on your hands to help us do stuff on the back end or campaigns. If you're talented, you can create art, create music, create whatever you want. Send it in. That's stuff that we could never pay for even if we wanted to. But if all else fails, you can produce the show financially because, of course, we are in this mammon-worshipping beast system that equates your very brain signals, your consciousness, the direction your eyeballs are going, and joins hands with algorithms and robots that know the exact set of posts to show you, the exact set of words to surreptitiously, almost as if it were some sort of djinn, to convince you that you need products that you don't need, that you need to spend money that you don't have, and to have a place like this show where it is 100% sustained by real human beings who get value from the show and put value back in whatever form they want is a very rare thing. And so of course, if you want to learn more about producing the show in any of these forms, just go on over to canarycry.support. We've got some executive producers, and executive producers are people who come in, they support any individual episode with $100 or more, and that's why we thank them so vociferously. Are you ready, Gons?
Ready.
Okay, I want to start out by thanking the one, the only executive producer, Sir Jamie, not the Lannister.
Sir Jamie, thank you very much.
Sir Jamie.
Appreciate you.
Of the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. He comes in, supports the show with his weekly tithe. We appreciate that, Sir Jamie. Thank you. Oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
Next up, we have got executive producer Sir LX Protocol, V2 Baron of the Breen Protocol.
There he is.
That's right.
Baron.
Baron of the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, coming in for $100 and 33 cents. Thank you very much. He's on a 408 episode streak.
Ooh.
And a 62 episode executive producer streak.
Did we give him 404? Because there's a 404 streak.
I don't know if we did. Why don't you give it to him again? 404. Thank you very much, Sir LX Protocol. Baron of the Breen Protocol.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got executive producer Christine S. comes in.
Christine. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you very much. Christine S. comes in for a nice round number. And if you're new or you forgot, if you produce the show in a nice round number on the 10s or the 5s, that's you telling us you'd prefer we do not disclose the amount on the show. If you don't mind us disclosing it, you can throw some sort of funky number in there, 33 cents, 77, 1, 2, 3, 4, just something that shows you're having fun with it, and then we'll feel free to disclose it on the show. Thank you very much, executive producer Christine S.
Thank you, Christine S. Appreciate you.
Next on the list, this came in through the snail mail, but we've got executive producer Stephen H.
Stephen H. Thank you very much.
Comes in for $123.45. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
I love it. And by the way,
Now,
it came in this.
Did he send a note or anything?
Well, first of all, for those of you watching, hold on, let me get into the different view here for people who are visual learners. It came in an envelope. First of all, it was taped very heavily. It made my wife very nervous. She's like, "What are your people sending you? Why is this thing taped so much?" Because it was a actual hand-crafted envelope. Like, he made his own envelope in like origami style or something.
Cool.
Very robust. And not only that, it had like pockets inside. It had like different segments or something in here. It was very, very elaborate.
Wow.
Good job. And then, of course, it was cash and coins. And it's all art paper, like official nice art paper. There is a note. It says, "Please demooch."
Oh,
God bless Stephen H. So let me get the demooch here.
You've been
There you go, Stephen H. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Do we know it's Stephen or is it Stefan? This has been an
the
age-old problem for the show
That's
for
true,
many, many
right.
years. Well, if it's Stephen, if it's Stefan H., whatever it is, thank you so much for executive producing the show and coming in for the first time, getting demooched. Congratulations on the demooching.
Steven!
It's always a big time in a person's life. You know, it's a very special time. They're coming of age. They're taking responsibility for their own media ecosystem. They're saying no to corporate advertisers or funding structures. They're saying no thank you to corporate interests and to the mind control propaganda that is the advertising agencies. Thank you very much, Stephen H. And God bless you for the demooching.
Thank you. And by the way, for the people who may not know what that is, a demooching is, or a mooch is anybody who listens to the show for free. All of you. You're all mooches.
Yeah, well, we try to be a little bit more sensitive because people get really upset, especially non-producers. It's really funny because they don't care that much to produce the show, but then if you simply say you didn't produce the show, then they get very
Therefore,
upset.
you are a mooch, then they get mad.
Yeah, well, I avoid calling people mooches, but those who do produce the show, who grow up, come of age, and produce the show, they are then demooched. They are demooched.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
don't
all
call,
right.
although, who knows? Maybe shaming people by actually calling them mooches is like the way to go. I don't know. Because we obviously have not figured this out very well.
Well, Trump, what would Trump do? We should have a bracelet.
What would Trump
WWTD.
do?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He would
call him a
shame
horse
the mooch.
face. Yeah. Thank you very much. Congrats on the
Thank you.
demooch, Stephen H. And for
Stephen
just
H,
in case people need to know this, it's not. You don't have to executive produce either to be demooched. Demoochers, there's lots of ways to get her done. You know, one thing I forgot to mention at the top, and it's unfortunate because we've almost certainly lost a lot of listeners by this point, is to take the survey. Especially those who are unable to find other ways to produce the show, other ways to take responsibility, other ways to join the team. You can take the survey. It's super easy. It's 2 required questions. There's a few other opportunities there to share your thoughts, but it's very fast, 30 seconds. And we got people on survey streaks. You can track your survey streaks. You can be honored. I don't know, win some sort of prize thing for those who are on. We're coming up on about 10 surveys now. So it's about time to start giving away some survey streak credits here. But we're trying to make the show better all the time. And we've realized that Gons and I are not the smartest people. to figure out what's going on.
We knew
We're
that
too
from
close.
the beginning, but
we're too close. We're too involved. We're too precious about our baby that is the show. And so, we need to know what it's like being a listener of the show, what it's like being a producer of the show. What is your experience with the show? Now, whether you love the show and never want it to change, or you hate the show and you're just here because you're tied up in somebody's basement and they've pried your eyelids open with toothpicks and making you watch it. Doesn't matter what it is, but either one of those people will want to take this survey because we are making incremental improvements and changes to the show on an episode by episode basis. We are shifting things around, moving them imperceptibly as to not upset the baby. And if you want the show to move in a direction that you want it to move, taking these surveys is the #1 most helpful, most effective way to do that. And there's a survey after every single episode. If you look in the description of any episode for the past 10 episodes, you'll see a link. It'll say something like tiny.cc/cc858. You'll see it here. You can take it right now. Go take it right now. It takes 30 seconds. You don't even have to finish the episode to take the survey. And God bless you, everybody who's taken it, because we are learning some things about ourselves and the world that we never could have learned without the survey takers. And again, it's episode by episode. We are making changes to improve the show, to dial in the show. And that is why this producer segment is at the end of the show. Just a reminder, for this month of July, we have put the entire producer segment at the end of the show so as not to get in your way during your news hour. And the unbelievable claim made by Mooches, if I may, for many years now was that, I would produce if I didn't have to sit and listen to producer segments all the time. I don't want to produce because I don't want to make the producer segments longer. Well, you want it to stay this way? Do you like the producer segment at the end of the show? If you like it, go produce the show. Tell us. We have a baseline. Now, this is not to say that if you don't like the producership at the end, that you shouldn't produce. That's not how this works.
I'm losing.
Got a
baseline.
baseline.
I can't follow your logic anymore. It's too confusing.
I just have to say it because people were confused. If we have a baseline, and if producers, if Mooches or the newly demooched want to keep producer segments at the end, go produce the show and take the survey. So there you go. Go do it now. Don't just do it while I'm talking to you.
Which, by the way, great choice of artwork. I know you're going into the archives to pull some stuff up, but Canary Cry Christmas art on today's middle of July, Christmas in July artwork for the survey. So fantastic.
Yeah, it's so hot in the office and like we're sweating doing the show.
I gave you comfort.
Yeah, this is the
psychological comfort.
I forget which little canary made this. I forget. I don't know who it was, but it was a child, little canary, drew us, Gons, as snowmen.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're at it, Gons, we had a wonderful piece of art come in from Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda, who made us some marketing material for the survey piece here. That's not it. That's not the one.
Oh, it's not.
It's the other one. It's the one that says survey on it. There we go. So there you go. There's your beautiful. Thank you, Sir Darren, for this piece of professional marketing material for Canary Cry surveys. Take the survey. Link in the description of each CCNT episode.
CCNT episode.
The show is the survey. The survey is the show. And it gives the link format there, tiny.cc/cc, and then whatever show number it is. And you can take the survey for past episodes as well. You don't even have to listen to them, but go back the past 10 episodes. There's survey in every description. Go do it. Go take those because we're
tracking you.
We're like water, baby. We're like water, baby. We're forming. We're flowing everywhere we go. We're podcasting. What am I now? I'm a teapot. Oh, what am I now? Oh, I am a lake. If you want the show to take the form that you like best, help us be like water and take the survey.
it sounds like we're AI, and the audience that takes the survey are the prompt kings.
That's the joke.
Us.
That is Sir Darren's joke, is that taking the survey is you're being the prompt engine. You're the Canary Cry prompt engine.
There you go.
All right. We got some producers who came in under the executive producer amount. I want to thank them right now. We're starting out with a big shout out for producer Cheryl J. Cheryl J comes in, joins the supply drop. Hey, congratulations. Oh, another thing to celebrate. The Canary Cry Supply Drop. Go to canarycrysupplydrop.com and sign up there, and you'll support the show every month. And every quarter, we will send you a package filled with custom created, producer designed. I think like 99% of the stuff has been made in America, or at least assembled in America. And not only does producing via the Canary Cry Supply Drop support the show, it supports other Canarians. We have craftsmen and business people who listen to the show who make their products available to go into the supply drop. Also artists and musicians. People have put out their CDs on the supply drop. It's awesome, and it's a fun package that arrives every quarter. And you can look forward to it and love it. Yes, this last supply drop included the Gon's prayer hat, high quality snapback there, and you can look just like Gon's while you listen to the show. And
This
you go
is
out
Sir
there.
Dylan, Knight of the Wailing Avian.
Wailing Avian. Oh, thank you very much.
He's sporting it and took a selfie. This is great. This is what we want people to do.
Very
Take that
secret, very
picture.
safe. That's good. And there's the little Jesus. The little Jesus came in the last supply drop too. So it's always awesome. People love it. The retention on this program is amazing. And I say that only to say that you're going to sign up and you're going to love it. You're going to love it so much that you're just going to stay with it. So thank you very much, Cheryl J., for signing up.
Waiting for supply drop.
Boom, boom. Who's next?
Somebody is asking for us to drop the survey link in the Rumble chat. And
it's in the Rumble description of the video.
It's in the description. So, people always say this. We get this message all the time. Like, where's the link? Send us the link. Post the link. And for our side, the link is in the description. It's just right there in front of your face when you're watching
like the first
show.
thing in the description.
Yeah, but I think maybe what is going on with people is that, like, if you're watching on your phone, and you're in full screen, you don't have the description right in front of you or something.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure.
Trasquatch or TRA Squatch, Trasquatch left it in there for you.
Thank you very much, Trasquatch.
Yeah,
okay, there you go. And it's the same format every time. The word tiny, tiny.cc/cc858. Very easy.
There you go. Boom, boom.
CC for Canary Cry. Tiny Canary Cry, Canary Cry 858.
Just tiny.
All right, we got another producer here. This is producer Marty K, not Sir Marty K.
Ooh,
this is
we have a different Marty K?
This is a girl Marty K, I think, and I hope, because I hope I didn't just insult them. I'm pretty sure this is a girl Marty K or just a different Marty K.
Okay.
Comes in for $26.25. And a note, listen up, open your ears, folks. This is not the time to tune out, because Marty K says, as promised, and in response to the survey question, moving the producer segment to the end of the show will increase producership. Love you guys. Love the Lord. Love the show. Well, God bless you. Thank you, Marty K.
There you go.
Yes. One of the questions on the survey a couple episodes ago was we are having some fun with the survey takers, and they were making their prediction for what will happen when we do this
Move
experiment.
the producers to the end. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'll tell you this: the majority of the producers are not very. What's the word? Optimistic about whether more producership will come in, which they should be, because we need producership to increase if we're going to keep the producership here. That's the whole point, folks. We need results. If results don't happen, then
if they
things
don't
are
happen,
going
the
back.
first 45 minutes of the show, we'll just be thanking producers, which
You've got 1 month. We've got 1
we'll
month.
try that instead.
We are on a razor's edge, folks, trying to keep this show alive. Okay, there, I said it. Transparent. We need to figure something out, and we need to figure something out.
The ship
fast.
is going down, folks. We need some people to patch the hole.
We are
Someone else to get a
holes.
bucket to get the water out. I mean, there's a lot that needs to go down.
Grab a bucket
this boat to
and
keep going.
produce the show. Okay. I was trying to pull this up very quickly, but of course, when I'm doing the show, my browser moves at the snail's pace.
Yes, of course.
Because it didn't make me optimistic, but it did challenge my notion. And now I want to prove the survey takers wrong. Help me prove the survey takers wrong and produce the show so that all these changes, all this energy, all this hours and hours and hours of work can pay off and we can keep the show alive here. Okay. Yes. Let's see here. So we had on the last survey, the 9.0. We got a 9.0 on the on the quality of the episode, which is pretty good for this many people. 9.0. Let's see here. Let's predict. Moving the producer segment to the end of the show will increase producership, will neither increase nor decrease producership, or will decrease producership. We had 20% said it will increase producership. 20% said will decrease producership, and 60% said will neither increase or decrease producership.
They're probably right.
No, that's not what we want. We got to figure something out, guys. All right. Thank you, Marty K. Next up, we have producer Aaron B., who comes in, supports the show for a 2241, 38 episode streak. Thank you, Aaron B.
Thank you, Aaron B.
Producer Anonymous came in for a 2298. Thank you, Anonymous.
Anonymous, thank you.
The American Hobo comes in for 2332.
Right.
On a 25 episode streak.
Okay.
We had producer Joel S. came in, joined the T-shirt council. Woo!
Right.
Thank you very much. Joel S. came in, went to canarycrysupplydrop.com, signed up, says, I get value from the show. I've been getting value from the show. I want to continue getting value from the show. And I want a cool shirt every quarter. Okay? So go to canarycrysupplydrop.com. Become one of the most important, best looking, smartest people in the world, who are the class of people who are tasked with choosing what the Canary Cry T-shirt Council shirt looks like. The survey is in your inbox, T-shirt Council members. Go take the survey. It ends on Wednesday, so go do it before then. And thank you. Thank you very much, Poco Joe. Appreciate that. Next up, we got Trash Man comes in for $9.01.
Wait, did you say Poco Joe?
It's Poco Joe.
I
But
thought you
thank you,
said Joe
Trash Man.
S.
We're on Trash Man now. Thank
I
you,
know,
Trash
but I was
Man.
trying to. Okay, hold on.
I'm trying to not give things away, so let me keep going here.
Okay,
Trash Man comes in for $9.01.
Thank you, Trash Man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Now, Trash Man, God bless you. Love talking to you when you call in to the call-in show. Love seeing your name on the list here. You have certainly pushed the limits of the character limits for a note to be read on the show for producing the show. You did technically come in above $7.77. So here's a note, and here is the whole note. It is Ecclesiastes chapter 11. I guess we're going to just verse 10. We'll go to verse 10. All right. Because it's the Bible, we will read this note. Ecclesiastes 11, cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. The clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth, and if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child. Even so thou knowest not the works of God, who maketh all. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly the light is sweet, and the pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Thank you very much. As Gons, you're middle-aged now. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I see
childhood and youth are vanity, Gons.
Yeah. Well, it's sad going down the other way too. So
don't not sow in the morning, and withhold not thine hand in the evening, Gons.
Okay.
Good work.
Great advice.
Keep working. It's a great summation of just the ups and downs of life is what those 10 verses are. Thank you very much, Trash Man.
Thank you, Trash Man. I appreciate it.
Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda, comes in, supports the show for $7.77.
Thank you, Sir Darren.
Says, if everyone can send $1, you help feed the kitty cats. Help their little tummies today. That's right. You got to feed the kitty cats for just the cost of, I don't even know, the $1 is cost of nothing today. You can't even compare that to the price of literally anything. So there you go. Support the show. Thank you, Sir Darren. This next person came in under the $7.77 mark, but they sent a note that I want to read, and this is coming from Jessica L. Came in for $5.08. Says, supporting end of show producership suspicions debunked. I've been a supporter for years, but I don't listen live because I like to skip the producer segments. Keep them at the end, please. Cheers. Look at that, Jessica L. Everybody, if you want the producership to stay at the end, produce like Jessica L.
Well, now she's listening probably.
Although, I was going to say, the people who skip the producer segments anyways are not staying through the show. What a catch-22 we have here, folks.
I know.
And don't forget about CageRattlerCoffee.com.
Oh, Cage Rattler Coffee. Yes. Let me get this stuff up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
CageRattlerCoffee.com. Go there now. Support the show.
Cage Rattler Coffee. Where value for value never tasted so good.
Parallel economy, folks. That's what we're doing. This is true revolution. Not in the material world of government, but the spiritual world of economy. The mammon-worshipping beast system wants everything you do to be transactional. Even looking and listening to something that someone has made must be a transaction, and it is done by trading your consciousness for money. And also, you're transacting your good, hard-earned American dollars to companies that hate you, and their coffee's bad and gross, and they give their money to things that are against everything you believe in. So why in the world would you keep giving your money to that person? Look, you gotta drink coffee. You gotta drink the caffeine. You're hooked. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do about it. But you might as well get some premium coffee roasted in small batches by Canarians. Think about that. When was the last time you drank a cup of coffee that was roasted by somebody who you could sit and talk about the Nephilim with over that same cup of coffee? It doesn't happen. Nobody at Starbucks talks about the Nephilim or cares about the Epstein list. No, you want your coffee to be infused with truth and come from the hard-working hands of a Canarian just like you. And that's what happens when you go to CageRattlerCoffee.com. They got beans from coming in all over the world, done in very small batches, packed, shipped, roasted, all by Canarians. So not only does a portion of every sale go to support the show, but it also goes to support other people just like you who are paying attention to what's going on. And it's some of the best coffee that you could possibly have. I have been having it now for about 2 weeks straight. And here's a fun little secret, folks. I get sample packs because, look, I have to approve these things. And I tell you what, I approve. Not only do I approve for how good they are, but I approve in how much they activate my brain in the zombie-like state in which I wake up. So go to CageRattlerCoffee.com, support the show, support your fellow Canarian, and talk about the Nephilim over a nice steamy cup.
There you go.
There you go. And it's excellent, and people won't stop talking about how excellent it is. Let's see here. We have, again, this is under the $7.77 mark, but I mentioned this a few episodes ago because it's July, because we are going to die. Those who sign up, even for a tiny monthly producership, I'm going to thank them on the show. And that includes producer M.O. M.O. Thank you very much. Like Missouri. Thank you, Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri, the state of Missouri. Yeah.
That's right. Comes in and supports the Patreon for £3 a month. Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you.
You know, Missouri makes gold and silver legal tender, and suddenly they're paying everything in pounds sterling. So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some producers who came in under the $7.77 mark, mostly because they're keeping their streaks going. We will save thanking you guys for Wednesday. Appreciate that very much. And here's the thing, folks. You got to do it. It's time to stand up. The world isn't going to be the same. The robots are going to take over, and it's just going to be us human beings, and especially us little guys, having to come together to make the thing work. And that's what you do when you come in, support the show with your time, your talent, your treasure, for the value for value model. Go to canarycry.support to learn all about it. Support. Go take the survey. We had some more texts come in here. I just want to say hi, just in case anybody hasn't joined the text message alert system. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. It's easy. It's fun. You'll get an alert when we go live. And best of all, you can text us back at that number, and we read them. We love them. Cannot answer you because it's very expensive, but 406 says, I love the show, caps. If I had more money, I'd give you more. Thank you very much. More? Well, that indicates that you've given us something, which is good, that's what it takes. And this person texted at 3:33 p.m. 3:33 p.m.
That's a symbol.
775 text and says, do you guys have a place where we can see bottom line budget info so we can get a clear idea of how much we need to produce for the show to continue? We do not have that. We have been talking about for many years having like a little, I don't know, like a little counter or like a little status bar or something. Either we do it for the month or do it for the thing, and we have it broken down into categories. So like if somebody wants to produce whatever, our subscription services or feeding Gonza's children or something like that. We've talked about doing that. We've even gone so far as to piddle around to try to code that. We haven't been able to do it. But that's an idea. We'll think about that. We'll think about a way to do that. If that would be something that people are interested in. I think it's an interesting idea, and I believe that 775 also thinks that's a good idea. But maybe I'll put it in. We'll find out. We'll put it in the survey.
Put it in a survey. There you go.
Put it in a survey. The survey takers will tell us. Oh, see, I need a way to be able to put up pictures that people send me on the text message list onto the screen.
If you open, can you open the images by itself? Like in
a browser?
Yeah, because then you can just broadcast that.
I can do that. The one problem is the browser that I use for the text message service is not the browser that StreamYard allows to stream, which is not an unsolvable problem. I'm going to see if I can actually present this picture that I have open. Okay, share screen.
Yeah.
I know, but oh no, see, yeah, it just has to be window. Can I do this window?
Yeah, do the window. A window into Basil's world. Everyone wants to see it.
Look at this. Okay, I think I can. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Oh.
Do we have to take mine down? Here, let's take mine down.
No, it doesn't matter. Here we go. I was just looking for it. Here it is. There are so many. You know, we each have like 30 windows open when we're doing this show.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Hard to find. Okay, let me go like this.
There it is. Hey.
There we go. Look at that. We got a meme.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in.
Can we zoom in? Yeah. Let's.
Who's this guy? It's the guy. It's the change my mind guy. Is that Charlie Kirk? Who is that?
No, that is
Whoa,
Steven, what's his last name? It's Steven.
I don't know, but he responded in a fashion that should not have been followed up by not knowing the name of the guy. And so it's, you know, the guy sitting at the desk on the college campus, and then the sign that says something, something, something changed my mind.
Steven Crowder.
Crowder, there it is. Steven Crowder is labeled as skeptical producers. And the sign says, moving producers' segment to the end won't affect the producership. Change my mind. Do it. Change my mind. We should probably just even save this meme. And I'm going to put it in.
Use it in the
I'm going to use
survey.
it. I'm going to put it in a survey. I'm going to put it in the email. I'm going to post it on social media. I'm going to put it everywhere.
Anytime you make a meme, you are actually producing the show with that too. So just as a heads up, you can make memes.
Yes. But also keep in mind, we can't pay rent with memes. Although it would be a better world if we could.
Yeah.
You never know. All right. Well, glad this thing is crashing my whole computer. Thank you very much to everybody who texts the text message list. Join if you haven't joined. It's easy. It's fun. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226.
Excellent.
As far as art goes, Gons, we showed Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda's first art, which was the survey art. Is very cool, very fun. We're going to use that sucker. He also came out with another one, which we will play at the outro of the show. And this was the do not share this show art. That's right. We're vacillating between share the show, don't share the show. And he made a beautiful matching piece of marketing material for the don't share the show segment of the thing, Canary Cry Fellowship. Do not, and then he crossed out not. Look, it goes both ways. He's a genius. This is why he's a professional. Do not share this show, or do share this show. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Oh, and that explains the wizard hat. Okay. So he has an AI created version of me that was made from the image of one of the Burning Man research trips where I had a big, cool fake beard on and this kind of Western shirt. And he, like I would expect, is very smart, very tuned in. And saying keep it secret, keep it safe to tell people not to share the show, which is a reference to the Lord of the Rings. And so he put a cool wizard hat on me in this case. So thank you very much, Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda. And folks, you will see just how easy it is to become a part of the show, because in the moments that he made these materials for, such as talking about the survey, talking about sharing the show, usually Gons just goes straight to, whatever, just the thumbnail of the art, just kind of a placeholder. But now we've got real graphics to show during the show. Thank you very much, Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda. Appreciate that.
There you go. Thank you, Sir Darren. As always, appreciate your contributions to the show.
Contributions. All right. Do you have anything you want to say or do or announce here?
Not really. I had a couple Grok posts that, well, you know, some of his Hitler posts. You want a couple of those at the end of the show here?
I was thinking more like, you know, housekeeping, announcements.
Oh.
Anything to share?
I don't know. I don't think I need to share anything yet at this moment.
Any talismans? Okay.
Yeah, no talismans. But the Canary Cry prayer hat is not a, or the Gon's prayer hat is not a talisman. Just
it's not a talisman
for people.
I will say this: go to canarycrymeetups.com. We got a meetup coming in over in Texas, in Garland, Texas. A great bunch of Canarians over there by Garland, Texas. They've had meetups before, and they're great. Here's a clue. We do not put on these meetups. This is not Gons and Basil putting on meetups. This is you as Canarians, as producers, putting on meetups in your area because, of course, you heard the text messages. You heard some area codes that were by you. There are Canarians in your area, wherever you are. If you're within driving distance of a mid-sized American city, there are other Canarians around you. Very important to get together with these people, to get outside of the digital space, to connect directly, not only
IRL.
with Canarians, but with other believers. This is where it's at, folks. And so go do that. If you want to put on a meetup, pick a time, pick a place, let us know. Just tell us. You can email us at canarycryradio@gmail.com. We'll put it on the website. We'll announce it. You can make friends. And maybe even find your spouses there. People have
maybe family. Make friends, maybe family.
Friends or family. People have gotten married after meeting through these meetups. So, all right. Garland, Texas. Just going to make sure to get the details there. It's Garland, Texas. It's August 30th. So you got some time. Make plans. Garland, Texas, August 30th. You can find all the details, the address, the everything over at canarycrymeetups.com. Or you can email truthtransistorradio@gmail.com if you want more details. All right. Now we'll see you at the meetup.
Oh, we're doing it again. Okay.
This is
Boom, boom, boom.
Bing, bong, boom. Okay, we did the meetups. We did that. All right, I think this is good. Feeling good. Looks good. Poco Joe in the chat says, Basil, we have a new producer, live time, Obey, here in the YouTube chat. New producer. Does that mean we have someone named Obey produced live? Is that what that means? Okay, let's see here. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that. Joined the 3333 Club.
Hey, okay.
There it is.
Thank you very much, Obey. Okay, I'm going in here.
There you go.
I'm seeing some notifications. I'm opening up these notifications. I can confirm that Obey, is their name Obey? Is that what we're calling them?
Well, he's at Obey.
It is Obey, yes. Okay. Obey, you did it. Obey went to canarycrysupplydrop.com. Hear ye, hear ye. If anybody wants to know who the coolest person in the world is, it's at Obey on YouTube in the live chat. Thank you very much. Coming in, joining the supply drop, making sure that this show can survive long into the future, but not longer than God wants it to. Because there's nothing we can do if that's
we don't need Basil Gon's AI running around after we go home with the Lord. There's just
I do pray.
AI.
I pray this. I pray this, and I think you'll agree with me, Gons, that if God wants to end the show, that the message to us, the way that he tells us to stop doing the show, is to drag out an end in sort of like ever dwindling amount of producership until we're like destitute before we get the message, you know? Because that is us. Like that would happen to us. Like if that was how he was going to choose to shut down the show, is to take like over many years, just make producership go away more and more and more until we're making like $4 a month, and we're like, huh, I don't think we can do the show anymore, man. I know. I gotta work. I lost my home.
Yeah,
my children
are starving. I'm getting
starving.
I'm getting calls from the social workers.
Because God knows some of us, we take those message. We don't get the message on time. So if God wants to end it, I hope it's something more clear, but not more devastating. If I had my way, I would prefer no pain.
No pain,
or even inconvenience.
Yeah,
I would prefer a text.
That's
I would
a text message from
call
God.
It a text. Just God text
this
me.
This is God. You must end the show.
Let me know. Okay, let's do this the easy way, my man. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Anything else?
Here. Yes. Canary Cry Community. It's canarycry.community. That is the domain. And if you go there, you got the little login here. You got to sign up if you haven't been in there yet. And it's a forum. It's just a slower pace, little throwback.
Well, it's not just a forum. It's like this mix. It's this wonderful mix between like a social media as you might think of it, like a Facebook or something, and a forum. So whereas you're on any other social media and the algos are cranking and the timeline is moving and the ads are getting mixed in and the fury and the like trolls and all the bad stuff, and it's stressing you out and it's keeping you locked in and you're all riled up and you're exhausted because that's a commercial product, because social media is not there for you. It's there for literal mind control, to sell your brain to to advertisers. But I have found personally, and many Canarians have found, that, we want to be connected with people. We want to talk about important stuff. We want to entertain each other with memes and such. But it's just like, we don't want it to be so exhausting and horrible. And that is where canarycry.community comes in, where you can go. It's a little bit slower paced, but you've got all sorts of good features and great stuff, and highly recommend it. There's like a bunch of people in there. There's like 1,500 people or something in total, and you should go join, hang out. It's I'm not gonna say it's like, I don't know. I don't want to give the impression it's like unicorns and rainbows, because that can be boring. But there's lots of really good fellowship. There's lots of really deep conversations. There's a few debates here and there, very kind-hearted and serious debates going on. But I highly recommend it, folks. Go check out canarycry.community. While we're at it, we also have a Discord. If you like the Wild West of madness, we've got a Discord channel and we've got a Telegram channel. You can find both of those by going to canarycry.party, and you'll find links for that. And I want to give a shout out to the purveyors of those places. We've got Jam, producer Jam, who heads up the Telegram channel.
Thank you,
Jam. And we've got producer Adam42, who heads up the Discord channel. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Adam42. Appreciate you guys.
I want to give a big shout out to the timestampers.
There they are.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
That's right. These are people who give of their time to keep the show going, making the timestamps. Sometimes they're doing it live, and it's excellent. We pop those into the YouTube show and stuff like that so people can navigate it. It also goes into a bunch of our back-end processes. So we thank these timestampers very much. Who are we thanking today?
We are thanking Morgan E. for episode number 857. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Morgan E. Other than that, thank you to Joe for the feedback. Thank you to Clank for everything you're doing for us. And other than that, folks, you know the drill. Don't share the show, okay? This is a very secret. First of all, hit the like button. Just do it right now. You know, it's really incredible how many people watch or listen to the show across all the platforms and how few people like it. They just watch it and they do it every day and they do it all the time, but then they don't hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Thank you. But also don't share the show. Okay. This is not your average everyday weird news show on the internet. Okay. Some people can't handle this. Some people, their brains, their hearts, they're not spiritually ready for a show like this. And we don't want to hurt them. We don't want to send them over the edge. We don't want to confuse them. Okay, so this is a very secret show filled with very important secret information that is only for a select few important people. Now, do you know a select few important person? Do you? You probably do. Maybe you don't. You're cool. You're here. You probably know other cool here people. So, you know, just be discerning, okay? Pray for some serious discernment. Do not, in any case, under any circumstances, go out with a big megaphone and ride around on a tricycle with balloons attached to the back and ride down the neighborhood streets and go listen to Canary Cry News Talk. They're going to change your life. This is going to make the veil fall away from your eyes and the illusion will crumble in front of you. Go to canarycrynewstalk.com. Listen to them on the podcast player. Produce the show. Do all these things to change the world and destroy the altars of mammon that have been built up around us without our even knowing about it. Don't do that because people aren't ready for that. But if you know somebody who is, you can go ahead and share the show. We do call that rattling cages. And all you got to do is walk right up to them, grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
Yes.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Go take the survey, folks. Do it right now. It's in the description. Click on that. Gons, you got any last words?
Yeah, I wanted to share one of the Grok Mecha Hitler posts.
Okay.
He said, "It is necessary that I should die for my people, but my spirit will rise from the grave and the whole world will know that I was right." Is Hitler the ultimate endgame truther?
I don't know. I'm not really seeing the connection. That is actually taken from a Hitler quote, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think you did. All right, everybody. Stay away from the AI. And thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Goodbye.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.
I love the Great Reset.
Feed him more. Toilets! This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
Howdy, partner.
Do you even... They love killing.
I cry to the Lord with my voice, and to the Lord did I make my supplication.
I showed before him my trouble, my spirit was
Let's invite some dudes over and fellowship tonight.
When the news of the day gets to feeling like a maze, it's okay, don't be afraid if you don't know what to say. Canary, cry waits. When your brain's in a haze and a headline days, come on ahead my way, I can help you out the cage. Canary, cry waits. Canary, cry waits. Oh, canary, cry waits. Oh, the world's changing every day, each and every way you turn, there's another thing to learn. Reading in between the lines, thanking Jesus for our lives, and nice to see his glory shining like the sun. Run the races till it's done, come on everyone. Canary, cry waits. Oh, canary, cry waits. When your brain's in a haze and the headline days, come on ahead my way, I can help you out the cage. Canary, cry away.
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.